So, good evening, everybody. How are we all? So, we have got no issue today, so we're going to be doing mostly chats. But we have hopefully got an absolutely awesome shine show lined up for you. So, let me present with we have got hopefully more people coming on the show, but I'll start with the usuals and the not so usual. No offense intended by that. Starting with Horlicks.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone this wet evening? Well, it's
You
wet
are,
here anyway.
you are looking very dark today. Have you not paid your electric bill?
Oh, do you know what? I thought it was too bright, so I shut the light off, but I could turn it back on.
No, I mean, contrary
Uh,
to popular belief, Horlicks, we do like to see you.
no, I didn't think it looked that bad, but yeah, was that okay?
Oh, it's brilliant. We love seeing you, Horlicks.
Well,
So our second guest is someone who everybody absolutely loves. It's our very own Dave Say.
Hello, everybody. Hello from a very cold and wet Yorkshire. And as you can see, I'm sat in a nice comfy chair with some Christmas cards behind me because it is the season to be jolly.
Oh, get you, Mr. Popular. I haven't got one card yet.
I've got two, and they're only from people at work. They're
Oh,
just
no one.
ones that they forget and they knock you one up at the last minute, like behind your back.
Do you know what? My favourite trick actually is it was one year I went away for Christmas Day and Christmas Eve. I wrote loads of cards and stuck them all in the neighbour's letterbox. And then I went away and I come back a few days later to find about 20 cards in through my letterbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously because you felt obliged to.
Well,
So
saying that, I did that last year, and I gave the neighbour a card, never got one back. I didn't expect one, but I never got a thank you, nothing. So I thought, you're not having another one.
Terrible. So let's introduce our last guest before he thinks he's being ignored. We've never seen him on the show before, but he has participated, and he's actually been an absolutely fantastic help to the show. More recently, he's been helping us with the scans on the magazines. But other than that, he's just an absolutely fantastic guy. I've hung out with him a few times on Google Hangouts. It's Adrian.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So, as we don't know you, Adrian, officially, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and about your build?
At the moment, I'm up to issue 30. Well, I've completed issue 30. As well, as you probably know, I've got from issue 41 onwards. And also, I've got issue from 35 to 36, 37, 38 to do as well.
So my understanding is that you have subscribed, but you've also been buying issues from the newsagents. And when your subscription catches up with the newsagents, then you'll stop the subscription.
Yes.
Yeah. So you will have a bit of a binge build coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I like binge building.
I tell you what, the last couple of weeks that I've had, I partly wish. Sorry, I've got something caught on my seat. I partly wish that I hadn't built any of this bus, so that I can just come home and build like 45 issues of it and just totally chill out. But sadly, I've already built it.
Well, you've got another one though, haven't you?
I have, but I won't have that surprise factor anymore.
Well, you may be surprised. You might have forgotten when you come to build it again, like I have. Even though I do it with you, I never know what's coming.
Yeah, but you see, I watch this absolutely awesome YouTube video every week, where it reminds me what we've done.
Yeah.
In fact, I think they just had an issue come out this week. Today, even.
Yes. Yeah, Love Minis was the first to comment.
Yeah. Oh, no. Paul has just been to the... oh, bless you. Paul, about half an hour ago, offered me some windscreens. And I said, oh, I'm really interested, because obviously I'd cracked mine. And I said, "Oh, how much do you want for them?" And he says, no, I'm just happy for someone to use them and appreciate them. And now he's gone and sent a message. Hi, Penny, just been out in the freezing cold to put for the post box for you. That's why I'm slightly late. I feel absolutely awful now. You didn't have to do that now this second. So, yeah, Dave, we're going to have to try this again then. We've tried to get Dave Milne on the show, but for some reason he can't get the link to work. What I'll do is I will post the link on the chat. But obviously it's the same link that I've been posting, but it's really weird because the link works fine for me. And obviously we've got Adrian and Horlicks and Dave on. So I don't understand why it's not going to work. But we'll keep trying. This is why we're doing a practice today.
Well, my link wouldn't work through the normal messenger, and you had to email the link. It worked fine through the email. So, but this is the second time that's happened. So maybe something's gone wrong somewhere along the lines.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll have to bear that in mind for the future, because it just kept telling me something 500 fault had gone on or something through Google. So
yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that's what happened to me last week, and then we found out it's because you put a load of extra characters on the end of the link.
Yes, because my V button got stuck, so the link had like 15 V's on the end, and we're all wondering why it doesn't work. Dave didn't get the email. Okay, let me.
But this week it worked fine through Messenger for me. So I think it's just random. Maybe it depends on the devices that people have got. I mean, I used it obviously for a PC. So maybe those that are going through the iPad or such, maybe that's
it could be
different.
Let me. I'm just going to send Dave the link again. Right. Okay. I've sent the email again. I mean, it might just be that it takes a few minutes to come through. Anyway, look, I've got a really important announcement to make. I've got a big apology to make. Adrian has been telling us for weeks that we missed a part of the bus out. And myself and Horlicks, me mostly, have been checking it and not noticing it. But it turns out we have, in fact, missed a part of the bus out. So I really do apologise, and yeah, we're going to finish it today, and I'll show you what we've missed out because I feel absolutely awful. I mean, I haven't called him a liar or anything like that, but obviously when he was right all the time. So issue 42, stage 15, we were assembling these clips, little cable ties. But the bit that we totally neglected, and remember, it's just why I feel really bad, because I always say, check the instructions, take your time. The part we missed out was this box here.
There you go, Penny. Thing up.
Oh, you've got it up. Brilliant. Let's shift over to you then. So this is the bit that we missed out. It's a really simple part. It's probably take us about 2 minutes, but I don't know how I missed that box, but yeah, we've missed it. So do you want to do that now, or shall we do that bit later on?
No, we might as well get that done. Should we do that now?
Yeah. Right, so what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to invite the audience to ask questions, because we have 2 absolutely awesome guests on. So let's take advantage of that.
You'll have to relay the questions, though, Penny or Alex, because I've got no chat on my...
right, okie dokie.
No worries, yeah, I can do that.
Right, so I'm just going to just move my plane so that they don't get bashed even more than they were. I've got too much on this shelf, you know. So, and I've got fantastic stuff to show you later on. Oh, I forgot how heavy this bus was. It is really heavy. So these are the parts that I had done. I'm trying to get that in. Here. Oh, I didn't like the sound of that, Horlicks. Oh no.
The whole shelf nearly collapsed, and the bus went through the DeLorean, then through the R2D2, and that would have been the end of the lot, wouldn't it?
Oh,
that
no.
would have been the end of the world.
No, it wasn't that dramatic. Just thought I'd do it.
These are the two clips that we've done. This is what I thought Adrian was trying to tell me that I've missed. But the ones we actually missed were here. So, Love Minis. We have got Love Minis. Now, Love Minis has been... Love Minis is over the other side of the pond. Absolutely lovely lady. Hello!
Hello!
Right, I think we're just getting that coming in now. I think it's because...
The link worked for me.
Oh, we can hear you.
We can hear you, but we can see clouds. Right, what I'll do is I'll crack on with this build. Anyone's free to comment if they need to. So what we're going to do is, I just want to have a quick look at the instructions. So I need to remember the screws. CM screws. So nice and simple. Oh, yes, you know what this means, don't you, Horlicks?
What's that?
Oh, can you not think? What did I buy that we've never used yet?
Oh, yeah. So I was thinking that, but then I wasn't sure.
Well,
yeah,
I'm going for it. I bought this over a month ago, and we've just never used it. So I'm going to use it. I'm so happy now. Right, let me just check that diagram because I've got 2, 3. Can you do me a favour, Horlicks? Can you just make the image slightly smaller so we get the whole of stage 15 in? The reason I ask is that we've got... Oh,
Love Minis. Hello.
hello. Oh, we've got an image. That's good. At least we've got something then. Right. The reason I'm asking is we've got this wire here.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine.
Right.
Hello.
Okay. So
I can hear you.
I apologise for the technical hitches.
I'd say this is all new, isn't it? You know, there's
Yeah.
there's 5 of us on now, and it seems to be okay. I can hear everyone.
Yeah.
Love Minis from Australia.
Right. Okay. What I'll do is I'll crack on with it. I'm pretty sure that it's just these wires, because this one I've taped that way, which there's normally a reason why I would do that. This is the trouble with doing builds and then leaving them for a few weeks.
I've got news for you, Penny.
Oh no! Good
Do you know
news
what the
or bad
news is? Oh no, it's good news. Mrs. has already done that.
Right.
Oh.
Has she done her sandbox and everything?
No.
She hasn't got engine noises coming through the bus then.
No, not yet.
I'm sorry. I thought that was excellent. Right.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe what I saw.
Oh no. I mean, I showed people at work and they didn't really know what I was on about, but they found it funny. Right, so 2 CM screws, and I will just test the end first.
Got a picture. Hello, Love Minis.
Hello, love me. Oh, we have got pictures.
Hello.
Oh, we've got a thug in a hoodie.
You look nice and cozy, Love Minis.
It's cold here.
What's the temperature? What's the temperature over there?
I think either she can't hear you or there's a lag.
Come up in a minute. What's the temperature over there, love minis?
Oh, we've got cats. Oh. I love her cats.
What a lovely big cat that is.
My two cats are like more like dogs. They jump up and on their backs wanting belly rubs and they won't move all night.
It's unusual for cats to want belly rubs, isn't it?
I know a lot of cats hate it, but
yeah, because that's usually
the
murder spots, isn't it?
Yeah, but obviously Milo's really good. When we got him, and then the other cat we've got, Ginger, we call it Kizzy. We've had him since he was born, so I think he's just comfortable with us because he's been with us all his life. So perhaps that's what it is. But yeah.
Right, I'm going to just carry on with this while I can. I've got my little bit of 3-in-1 oil there. So let me just double check the extract.
It's 5.5 centigrade here.
Wow. See, now Love Minis seem to get the same weather that we get, just a little bit more extreme. So if it's snowing a little bit here, it's snowing a lot over there. And if it's a little bit cold, it's very cold over there. You just can't win. Okay, I'm struggling with this. Why am I struggling, Horlicks?
Are you in a panic?
No. I am not in a panic.
Captain Mannering.
Yeah. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering.
Don't. I'm panicking.
Right. Oh.
I'm dreading my next R2 issues. I really am.
Love Minis, are you building the Routemaster?
No.
You're obviously finding it interesting. You're obviously finding the build interesting, Love Minis.
Yes.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, which part of the world are you from?
It's all interesting. Oh, I live in the state of Illinois in the USA.
In Illinois, in the USA.
Right.
I'd love to go to America.
I'm interested. I'm interested about your name as well. Love Minis. Minis over here in Great Britain, we have a mini car, and the mini cars are very, very famous, and they are a very lovely little car, or there was until the modern ones took over.
Yeah, and they're not so mini anymore.
Yeah. So I initially thought that Love Minis was interested in mini cars.
Yeah, we call them Mini Coopers here.
Yeah, Mini Coopers. Yeah, very famous name across here, and a very well-liked motor car indeed.
I remember the original one, and my brother's other half had one, and I was only young, but every time I went over a bump, my head hit the roof.
And I was only. Minis came from the miniatures and putting them together and painting them and stuff like that.
Yeah, the miniature figures and such like. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't get magazines like the Routemaster here.
You don't? No. I've got a friend who lives in the USA somewhere, and he says that he would absolutely love to buy this Routemaster, but unfortunately they don't ship it over there. So that's such a shame, really, isn't it?
I think it's crazy because you think your average state is sorry.
Yes,
I
it
think
would be
your
nice
average
if we
state.
had access to such magazines to build things and stuff. It would be great.
I'd have to buy them in bulk and send them over to Love Minutes to distribute.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Alex.
Right, that was really hard work for two small plastic parts. But that is now done. So I've now got these clips down. So thank you very much, Adrian, for keeping on at me for that. That is very much appreciated. Right, so let me take that off that view. So hopefully now whoever speaks should get the spotlight. If anyone would like to speak.
Fabulous!
That's the one. So I'm just going to pop my bus back on the shelf unless somebody... No, I'll leave it on, actually. That way, if anybody asks any questions, we will be able to have a look. Because quite often people have been asking questions and I've been like, I don't really want to get the bus off the shelf. So...
we often get a question pop up on the Facebook group, and that is, how heavy is this bus going to be when it's finished? And I learned a long time ago, somebody a long time ago told me that it was going to be just a little above 12 kilograms. Well, that's awfully heavy, isn't it?
It's very heavy. It's basically, I would advise anyone against anybody putting this on a shelf higher than shoulder height, because then what it means is if you put it any higher than shoulder height, you're then going to have to lift it up to that height.
Yeah.
And it's going to put a lot of pressure on your shoulders.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat. I neglected that, sorry. Hello, Fleetwood J, Martin Knight, evening. Mark's cat's just as bad, silly sod he is. Okay, Dave Milne's having a problem with Chrome, still getting a server error. And tried on Mac and iPad, still not working.
Right, well, we'll have to work on that on the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because I really want to get Dave on the show.
Yeah.
Fleetwood says hates the BMW Mini bag of excrement.
Yeah.
They're not the same, are they? And hello, Sol. And Johnson Hazel said, Johnson Hazel's asking if you've given any more thought yet about building the Ecto 1 in the new year of 2019.
I'm probably not going to. I'm getting hit quite heavy with the finances, and I'm really not sure if I can afford to do another 2-year commitment. So I'm going to have to give it a swerve. But it's always going to be there. It's an Eagle Moss one, isn't it? So if it looks, I mean, there's going to be people doing YouTube videos on it. In World of Mike Anderson could be doing it, so I can always watch his videos. And if it looks absolutely amazing, then I can always subscribe and be a little bit behind. But I mean, I've got that 3D print, 3D plan, which I'm learning how to slice. Sorry, not how to slice. How to edit files. So if something's too big, I can chop it down into smaller pieces. So I'm confident that I could probably do a 3D printed version. So
Yeah.
Hey, we've got your face back, Horlicks.
Yeah, so I forgot it was on.
No, it's all right. We just thought you were being shy all of a sudden.
No. Paul says he's hoping that the display case is going to be on offer from Hachette.
That would be nice.
Fleetwood.
Listen, I don't know what to do about this link, because all I can really do is just keep posting the link, but it's the same link. So
And it worked for me.
yeah,
And
I don't understand.
Follow it. And just kept clicking on everything.
Yeah. Unless the only thing I can think of is maybe we've hit a maximum of 5.
But Dave Mill was it wasn't working before Love Minis came on.
No, I suppose.
Right.
Well, I can get off.
No, I mean it might not be that. Let me just do a quick Google search.
See, I think the most I've ever seen on a Hangout is 4 people. So we've exceeded that. So this isn't the biggest Hangout I've ever seen. And I'm happy to be part of it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it'll all get fixed. I just realised how dusty my house is. So how are you, Chris? Right, it could be. Right, okay, so maybe it is my computer then.
Right, it says there's 2. Someone says video calls. Right, video calls you can have a maximum of 10 participants.
Right. And we've got 5.
Hello, Chris Camplin. How are you? I'm glad your R2 is working too.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, because literally the second that you'd finished your live stream, I was straight on Messenger to Horlicks. Oh, what a shame about that. And it was like, yeah, real shame. So it was a real shame. But yeah, I'm really happy that you've got it working. Mine has grown just ever so slightly, but not too much. But this bit doesn't officially exist. This is a skirt underneath. And I've been printing some other little bits. This one is, I don't know if it's exciting or not. Can anyone guess what that is? Should be fairly simple, really, but.
Oh, Johnson Hayes was asking if you've got issue number 4 today of the Mary Berry cake recipes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did say it. No, I'm not interested in that REF collection. I looked at issue 1, and obviously they're always going to put a Spitfire on the front. Not an aircraft that interests me, but really that's the one you've got to put on the front. And then obviously it said issue 2 Halifax and issue 3 Vulcan, and those 2 I was interested in. But when I got this Halifax with a broken wheel, I thought, well, this is my new. Have I shown you this T-shirt before? This is the new Routemaster T-shirt, which I quite like. It's like slightly mysterious.
Nice.
Yeah, I like it.
It looks like the ghost bus that goes around in London at Halloween.
Okay, fair enough. Spooky. So I've been a bit naughty at work because we've had Christmas jumper day. I've not bothered wearing a shirt for work. I've just been wearing T-shirts underneath. So it's really good.
Fleetwood said it's to add you as contact on Hangouts. I mean, it might work, but I'm not a contact, one of Penny's contacts, because every time I try and join it says Penny's not in my circles or something, but I don't really understand it.
It said that it wasn't, you guys weren't in my circle, but I clicked it anyway, and I got right in.
But give it a go, Fleetwood. Just, maybe add Penny and see.
Yeah.
See if,
See if you can, yeah. Just while we've got a lull in conversation, I'd like to just publicly, without embarrassing anybody, I'd like to publicly thank someone who is actually on here for sending me something rather special, and that is, I don't know whether you can see that. Can you see that? Yeah, that's the London Transport badge that was sent out to the subscribers, which is a replica of the front badge that is fitted to the front of the early Routemasters. Somebody on here sent me this, and they wouldn't accept any money or postage. And publicly, I'd like to absolutely thank them from the bottom of my heart, because it is so precious to me. It's going to go with the buses when I get the buses finished, and it's going to go on display with the buses. What I have said is that anybody who sends me anything, including like you, Horlicks, who sent me that cup, I'm putting a list of names together, so that list of names will be displayed with the buses when I do put them on public display. Once again, thank you very much. It's very much appreciated.
No, thank you. I'd say it was a pleasure sending you that. I knew you wanted it, and I had one here, so yeah, no. The pleasure's all mine.
I'm trying to find something to send Dave now.
That's fantastic. Well, you gave that to him.
Yes.
It just goes to prove that there is some really nice people in this world. There really is.
Yeah, I was going to say that just sums up this community. I mean, so many people have helped me out with stuff. Like today.
I just had a funny thought. Imagine what Dave's face when he opens the door to the postman, and he's got a 10-foot R2D2 outside his front door.
Oh God.
No.
Yeah.
Did you get a red card today, Penny?
Did I get a red card?
Yeah, from Royal Mail.
Yes.
Oh.
Was that you?
Oh no, I'm not. No, I just wondered. I didn't know if you're waiting for anything or not.
I'm speechless. Because hang on a sec. Hang on one sec. Carry on talking.
Oh, funny.
Dun, dun, dun.
Love mini those.
Come on, Penny. Where have you gone?
Where's she gone? Right one out.
She's trying to run out the door.
Yeah, she's probably running down the street to the post office.
Yeah. Come back.
See, you've spooked me now, Horlicks.
Oh, we just thought you might have legged it out the door and up the high street.
No. Right, I'll tell you what happened. For a change, I came home from work in the afternoon, and I had a little sleep, and it was a good little break, so I managed to get another episode of Madame Secretary in. And then I did my stream, pretty much bang on time. Didn't oversleep for a change. It was not a bad little stream. And then I'd already had a parcel this morning. I wasn't sure how many resistors I'd need for my logic lights, so I bought 500 of them. And they came today, so I thought that was the post for today. Finished the stream, got ready, went to work, and I found this in my letterbox. So when you now said, did you get, I mean, this is normally red, but because it's Christmas, they've got Christmas editions.
Blue one.
And it says, letter, too large for your letterbox. And then you said, did you get a... So, yeah, I got one today, and it spooked me.
Letter?
So, well, it says, one item, too large for letterbox.
Right.
So I'm now thinking it's from you, and it's recorded delivery, and you've checked it and it said not able to deliver.
No, I don't think it's recorded. Don't say it's recorded.
No, but it just says too large for letterbox. So how did you know? Is this from you?
No, I just had a
And-
sixth sense.
You, I'm spooked.
No, don't worry.
Either that, or you've got a spy camera on my house.
Yeah. No, I was just interested to know. That was all. I just thought to know.
A red letter.
Hmm.
Oh.
Anyway, moving on.
Well, the thing is, I am expecting something, so it didn't
Yeah.
really shock me because I've got some connectors coming, which I'm going to try and make some connectors for the sockets. Yeah, I think you're stalking me. So
Is there any more questions or?
I'm just going through. Kevin says Kevin Gates is stomping because he's waiting for his bus seats still. Chris says cool shirt. And then that T-shirt is cool. Could be a 2-decker version of the night bus from Harry Potter. Laugh out loud. That was Mark Knight. Kevin says kind of them. That was to your comment, Dave. Issue. Oh, Johnson Hazel says issue number 46 may not be in Boxing Day, and a couple of days after, in the day next week.
No, they can't do that to us. It's gonna, do they know the devastating effect it will
Yeah,
have?
I mean, it does make sense, sort of with Christmas and stuff, but I've talked to Adrian, and Agni is going to send me his issues 37 to replace my lightsaber tube from his second R2. And then
It's in the post.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. When he receives it, when he receives the replacement, he'll send it back. Oh, that's brilliant.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go into show-off mode now. Chris Campbelling has said, going to get replacement issue 37 lightsaber replacement for my R2 from Adrian Langley. Here's my lightsaber. So pleased for that.
It does look. It's brilliant. It does look exactly the same as ours, except bigger.
Well, I've got. I'll give you scoops here. You know me. I take on way too much, and just at the point that I realise I'm taking on too much, I then take on another couple more projects. But I'm planning on doing a full-size Yoda at some point in the future, and he comes with a lightsaber which you can 3D print and paint. I can also get hold of Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber and somebody else. So I'm going to eventually print them all off, and then what I want to do is see if I can combine elements of them to make a new lightsaber, and we'll call it Penny's lightsaber, so that my R2 will pop out my own lightsaber. So that's the theory anyway. So yeah, I was going to show you. I don't know. Yeah. This I showed you earlier. This is going to be going. There, but it's confused me at the moment because I'm thinking it should do something and is a solid piece of dome, unless I'm supposed to cut a hole in the dome. This is the thing I found when I was doing miniatures. There's a very popular saying amongst miniature painters. When they walk into the shop, they always say, "I'm not buying anything, I'm just here to look." And they usually spend only about £200 on miniatures. And everybody ends up with, these are some of the boxes of projects to start that I've got. Obviously, I've got the bottle of wine and stuff there as well, but I've got blood letters, I've got skulls, skeletons, I've got Star Trek miniatures, I've got I've got creeping vines. Over back there, I've got a box game. I've got 2 new box games coming in the new year, and that's just the stuff that I can see. And then obviously I get my asset drop come every month or every 2 months, and that's something that I struggle to keep up with. So yeah, it's I think I might have to open my own shop. So
too many projects going off.
wow, $258 house paving slabs coming. Oh, that's
God.
yeah. Is it I can't remember who it was now. I get confused between Facebook names and how they relate to YouTube names. I think it's Fleetwood J was showing me some absolutely amazing mods. Trying to think. There was a fire extinguisher. I think I showed them last week actually. There was the copy of the Dandy, was it, or the Beano?
Yeah,
There
no
was
flask.
That's right.
the
Yeah.
Flask. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he's now done a bus stop, and it looks
yeah,
absolutely amazing.
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
so impressed, and I did pass a comment saying that maybe you should produce these, but I think he kind of realised it's like when I do prints for people. Obviously, I'm not out to make it a commercial project. I'm just here. I don't want to lose out, but I don't really want to make loads of money. I just want to help other people, and so this is why I charge 3 times the cost of the filament. That's the one. Yeah, it is you, Fleetwood J. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, like for example, I've got another R2 builder. I think it's Jay. I think he's watching tonight. He's asked me to help him out with some hinge panels. So I've been printing these over the last about a week. And what these will do, I've done them all on one print. I haven't separated them. But these will be hinge panels that will go on the top and on the side, so that the blue panels will open up with servos. And I've charged him 3 times the cost of the filament plus postage, which is, I think, is a reasonable rate. But if I'm doing them for everybody, it's a case of you've got to find the balance, because obviously the more I'm doing for other people, the less I'm doing for myself, which sounds selfish, but if you're doing nothing but work for other people, then obviously you don't get anything done yourself.
yeah.
So
That makes sense.
yeah. So to do for Jay to do these projects commercially, it would just probably bog him down so much, and the amount of money that he would have to charge to make it commercially viable, people probably then wouldn't buy them.
Yeah.
So anyway, look, we're leaving someone in the dark here, and I want to ask a couple of questions, if you don't mind. The important question for me, Adrian, obviously you've been building this for a few weeks now. What was your favourite and your least favourite issues, and why?
I don't know, really.
Was there any that you did and afterwards you just thought, oh, that was really good, I'd like to do that again?
It's a very good question. I haven't really thought about the answer to that.
Fair enough. So what did you think to the wheels? That the wheels for me was the least stimulating issue.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. It's a fun. I know I keep having to sort of justify myself. I say least stimulating, but it's probably one of the most important issues, because obviously no wheels means no bus.
When the wheels on the bus don't go round and round.
Round and round. Yeah, I just, as soon as you said that.
Me and Dave both said it at the same time.
We think
next
alike,
back
all of
wheels.
us.
Yeah. I'm in tune with a lot of people. It's weird. Scary.
Yeah.
Actually, Adrian, the wheels, to me, I'm actually building a scratch-built bus from nothing in 1/12 scale. And it's a single-decker bus, an old bus from the 1920s. And I pondered over the wheels for ages and ages. What am I going to do with the wheels? What am I going to do with the wheels? And there's a company called Tamiya, and they produce some 118 truck wheels and tires, and they I don't know whether there's other makes available or not, but that's the only ones I could find. And they were superb. And what I've done is I've adapted these wheels to make them into 1920s wheels by just filling the centres in with some car body filler and sanding it off. And it's made the wheels possible. Now, when I got the wheels for the Routemaster, I thought, oh, they're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant, especially the front ones. The back ones I'm not taken up with so much, but most of it's covered by the dustbin lid on the back ones.
Yeah.
But the front ones especially, I love them. I love them to bits.
Yeah, I do. I agree, actually, Dave. I really like the front ones. I think, yeah, the back ones don't look as good, but I'm still debating whether to take the plastic caps off and just have them bare, because you've got that small little air valve in there and detail like that that's just been hidden up.
Yeah.
Bare wheels.
Bare wheels.
Bare wheels, yeah.
Well,
do you know what I mean? They've gone to the detail of putting the valves in,
yeah,
and you can't see them.
they cover them up with them hubcaps, don't they?
Yeah.
So normally, love minis, them hubcaps that are on the rear wheels, they only lasted a short time because they kept coming off. They're only like a tin cover, and they only lasted a short time on the AC Routemasters in London. And there was more problematic than anything else keeping them on, so they did away with them in the end. And there wasn't very many that actually kept them on. And in actual fact, on our two builds, where me and my wife are building one each, but we're building two Routemasters that aren't red. They're, one is actually a London Routemaster, but it's in a different livery. And the other one is a Yorkshire Routemaster. And we're going to do away with the hubcaps on the rears because by that time they didn't have them on. So we're actually after some of the front hubcaps. If anybody's listening, if anybody wants to send me any, I'm after 4 hubcaps for the rears, 4 front hubcaps, that is, with the AEC badges on, because I'm going to put them in the rears. And I think somebody else on one of the groups has done that. And I think it's Dan Simpson. I think it looks superb.
I will certainly give it a go, but and I say this a lot, I can't promise anything, but I'm pretty sure if we scanned that logo in and printed it off, you'd probably have to glue it in. But I might be I'm looking. You're talking about just the silver bit, aren't you?
Just the AEC logo, yeah, the round badge. And if that
that'd be easy.
Yeah, and if that could be incorporated to actually fit in the centre of the hubcap, in the centre of the hub, right in the very centre there, then that would do me smashing, that would.
So let me just get my spodger thing. I'll just get my little cap off. So to clarify, Are you talking about all of that, or just the logo in the middle?
Well, I actually initially thought about all of that, and then I
Right.
thought, well, if it was made so that only the centre went into the centre rear, where the screw hole is,
Ah, I'm with you.
so that it fits more or less flush with the end, just leaves the nuts poking out of the very centre of the hub.
Oh, piece of doddle. I'll get onto that for you then.
I need 4.
Because
Please.
if we right, this is my thought. I will measure that, and then I will. All it'll be is just make a little circle of plastic,
Yeah,
and then we'll print that off. We'll do it on a high quality, so it'll take longer, but it'll look better. And then we'll scan in that logo, and then we'll print that off with. I'm not great with papers, but I'm thinking something like a thin photo paper, and then we'll
yeah,
just spray something over the top of it just to seal it in.
yeah.
Would that work?
I would have thought that would do it. Yeah, and also I was thinking of 2 for the centers of the steering wheels as well, because they did have originally the AEC badge in the very center of the steering wheel.
Well, that's even easier, because once you've done it for the back wheel, all you need to do is just scale it down a little bit,
Just to fit in
and
that.
then do the exact same. But you'd have to glue it on.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, if they fit very much in the center of them rear hubs, that's what I'm after.
Okay, I will. Unless someone beats me to it, I will crack on with it.
I've just actually had a message from somebody, but I can't get to my messages at the moment. Are these any good? But I can't get to my messages at the moment, so I can talk to you later, but not now. I'm receiving messages, but I can't go back to them.
Right.
Seeing there's quite a few comments come up. Kevin Gates said that the engine pipes are the worst. I suppose that, are you talking about issue 29? I suppose that is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I've still got to do. I'm still.
Yeah, don't worry. You'll love that, Horlicks. It's so peaceful and relaxing, and it's so nice. You will love it, and it's so easy.
I'll probably just bang it out and done. And they'll be thinking, what's everyone moaning about? Yeah, Fleetwood said the same. 29 and 42 are the worst.
Yeah.
Mark Knight agrees that the back wheels at Bella was plain, and I agree with that. And John's also asking what the plan is for next week if the bus parts do not come.
Yeah, you can finish that one if you want, Horlicks, because I haven't got a clue.
No, I don't either.
Well, theoretically, it'll be Boxing Day night, won't it?
Yeah. And I'm thinking it depends if it doesn't arrive in time. Perhaps, I don't know. Cause I suppose a lot of people are going to be with family and friends and things. So I don't think if it doesn't come, maybe there won't be a show next week until the following when we do the Christmas quiz and party and all that.
I've got to be honest with you. I don't think that's an awful idea, to be honest with you. Give us all, because we're going to have. I'm trying to think. See, if it comes late, I don't. See, normally if it comes late, I'd say, sorry guys, no show, we'll do it next week. But then the following week is going to be the quiz, and I really do not want to build. I've got myself geared. Look, this is the questions already for the quiz.
Wow.
I spent so much time on those, and I'm just so super excited, and I feel like Bamba Gascoigne now. No, I'll go through the quiz format actually, because Horlick says it's complicated, but what I'll do is I'll go through the format again on New Year, and then I'll explain the format of the individual rounds. And what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is we will start off with 12 questions, which will be open to everybody. And each question will relate to 1 month in 2018. So it will be like, for example, trying to think of something, but in what month does Penny celebrate her birthday? You know, and people will go Buzz May or whatever. And then it will go, oh, before we do that round, I will tell you the subjects of the 5 main rounds. And then once we finish the questions about the months, everyone that takes part can then pick a joker, and they will select 1 round, and they will score double points in that round. They're not guaranteed to score any because it's going to be a faster finger first. Chris is being very rude again. Nice pussy, love minis. So what we'll do is we'll have 5 sections. Each section will have. Oh, was that you, Dave?
Yeah. All right.
Buster.
Sorry, that just. So yeah, we'll have 5 questions in each section, but 2 of the questions will have a bonus. So it will be the first one to buzz in, but if you get the question that's got a bonus, you'll get 2 points if you get the question correct. Then the bonus will be your question, and that will be worth 1 point. So you could potentially score 12, 24 points if you got all questions and the bonuses and played your joker. And the last section will be 20 questions called general knowledge, and if you get a question correct, you get 2 points. Then you can select to either answer the next question, or you can pass that question to somebody else. And then if you get that question correct, you score 2 points. If you get it wrong, you will lose a point, and that will be given to the person who nominated you.
Charming.
If that makes sense. I know. So I just thought it would be a chance at the end if you've got someone who's just picked you just a little bit ahead, just knock them down a bit or something. But we'll see how it goes. But I'm hoping that we'll have a laugh. Sorry, someone's just sent me a joke, but I can't repeat it on air. So yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what, my friend rang me last night. She's got insomnia, and she really does suffer from it really bad. But like I said, look on the positive side. Only 1 more sleep till Christmas.
Oh, we've just had someone join us.
Hello,
Fleetwood.
Hello, Fleetwood. So we have. There he is.
Hello.
Yeah.
You have to speak as well, otherwise you don't get your face on screen.
How did you fix it? Did you just keep trying?
Hi all. Hello.
So Fleetwood J, the master. What's the word I'm looking for? The master modder.
Hi all.
Hello.
Oh, I might just turn you up a little bit, Fleetwood. Oh, hang on. What's that? Sorry, I'm just going to be fit. Oh, just get a close up of someone's chin there. Right, Fleetwood, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us all about your build?
Well, I'll give it a go, but
Hello.
well, I'm Fleetwood J. You can guess where I live.
Newcastle.
broken
I've
up.
just had a thought. Do we have a lag between us?
I don't think so. Sorry, I'm replying really late. That didn't help,
Yeah.
did it?
I'm replying late as well.
I think between us, I think there's obviously a lag between us and the broadcast on YouTube, but I think between us, it's pretty instant. Because when you speak, I can see you speaking, and it's coming straight through. So I think Fleetwood.
There's definitely a lag when I come on.
Yeah.
But the signal's got to go all the way over to the USA.
Yeah, it's a long haul flight to America. Mind you, saying that, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I lagged behind because our buses around here are awful.
I think Fleetwood's frozen.
Fleetwood, yeah, he says sorry, laptop powered off. Okay, so technical difficulties with Fleetwood. I think I might have just frozen my face on. Can someone just say something? Anyone, I don't mind.
Hello.
Hello.
Fabulous.
Hi.
Brilliant.
So,
Paul, are you okay, Adrian, over there?
Yes, I'm okay.
Good, good. Oh, yeah. Well, we've lost Fleetwood. Yeah, he did say that the laptop powered off. So we may get him back, we may not.
Oh, let's hope we're getting back.
Yeah.
Bring on the chaser.
Well, perhaps I should get off.
What? Well, no, you don't need to.
Why is that? You don't have to.
We love having you. See, I always I wonder if it's if the actual streamy bit is being. I'm trying to get the center of the picture. It's because I forget I'm over here, but the camera's over there. I wonder if the central server is like somewhere in Google land, and we're all connecting to it separately from our separate bits. So it's got to go from us to Google land to wherever.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure we're going through several.
Hello.
Guys, I have a very important announcement. We have probably the most fantastic YouTuber ever has just joined us. I feel so privileged. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you World of Wayne.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
This is mad.
It's time I've used Google Hangouts, so this is a new thing for me.
Oh, but it's like someone famous has come into the room.
Do you know what? If I was standing, I would be sitting now.
I've had to be working, so I've just finished work. I've done a bit of overtime, so I don't have to work Friday for Christmas. I can knock off early. I thought then I can come on.
So I have been holding off something because I wanted to ask you, Wayne, may I show our wonderful audience something?
Oh yes, of course.
I'm so glad. So Wayne has been doing some weekly shows. I think that they're just designed just to put me. I come home Thursday and I go, I'm going to do some work on my R2D2, and then suddenly I get a notification World of Wayne is going live. So that completely puts me off my building. However, Mrs. World of Wayne said that she's very interested in a certain model. So I had a little look, and as most of you know, I'm more about the builds. I paint figures and I make things, and to be absolutely honest with you, I'm not as interested in them once they're built. It's the actual process of making. So Mrs. World of Wayne, and Wayne hasn't seen all of this. He's seen a little bit. But Mrs. World of Wayne was interested in Bubo. Is it Bubo?
Yeah, Bubo. Yeah.
Right. For those that don't know, Bubo is a golden owl from Clash of the Titans. So I said I would have a go, and I think I showed a picture of this, which is an owl body. Then I printed off a couple more parts, which are these, and this is the tail part. And last night, the screws are way too long, but it's just concept. But I've done the legs as well.
Oh, wicked.
And there's going to be some bearings go in there, and then that will be controlled. Well, the legs will be fixed, but the servo will obviously move the body. And when I assembled this, there's quite a lot, because the instructions, I'll be honest with you, are quite poor. So I've had to figure it out from photos. But and I've also done the head.
Oh, wow.
So that is it so far, and I did not know how big it was going to be.
That's impressive.
And I will get the ruler out. That's a 12-inch ruler.
Wow.
So, but I mean, I've done 3 batches of prints, and I've just knocked his beak off. Okay. So I've now got a print. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Wilderwayne. It's actually really good fun, but it's like a big puzzle, and the parts that are going together, I'm just going to really looking forward to it. But the bit that I absolutely love about it is this part here isn't actually going to be on show. We've got some feathers. And you get, like, in fact, actually, I'm gonna just do a quick runner because I've got 1 set of feathers. Bear with me a sec, guys. Sorry, unorganized.
I'll tell you, I've been absolutely addicted to watching the printer. I've got like a live stream to Penny's printer, and I could watch it for hours.
Yeah, I agree. Since I've had mine, I'm just constantly watching it, and it's amazing. Like just how it works.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'm going to switch cameras here. So this is a row of feathers. And you can see there's actually quite good detail in there. Wow. And what we'll end up doing is we'll be printing off loads of these strips. I'm trying to go back to my normal. And then what we'll do is we will get a hot gun onto that, and we'll shape them to go round. And then we'll put on lots and lots of rows of them, so it'll look like he's got feathers. And then there's wing feathers and there's tail feathers. And I think it's actually going to be easier than it looks. Not going to be easy, but it's going to be slightly easier than it looks. And then, of course, what I'll do is I'll be painting it, and then I'll put a dark shade. So like these bits, they'll come out silver. And then I will put a shade over them to make them go really dark. And then what I'll do is I'll do a dry brush over the top just to lighten them up a bit. And then I'll do a really bright dry brush just on the very edges, just to really make the detail pop. And it will have a very similar effect. This is a base that I did the other day, which is stone. It's probably a bit boring, but it will show you exactly what by the dry brushing. So this is a piece of rock, and what I've done is I've gone over in one color, then I put like a black ink over the top to darken it, and then I brought the color back up with the paint, and then I've gone over the edges with a much lighter color so you can really see the edges. And it really defines. And we've just lost somebody. Who have we lost? We've lost Love Minis.
Love Minis, yeah.
This is probably a slightly better example. I'm going to have to move the camera up. So you see how I've just picked out all the edges, and that's to plant feathers. But I've just got to order the electronic, and I've probably started this at a really bad time because the electronics that I'm ordering are going to be coming from China. And they take about 2 or 3 weeks to come anyway, but with Christmas just around the corner, I would expect probably about another 2-week delay on that.
Yeah.
It's really all I can do is just print the parts. Oh, sorry about that, love. You're welcome to rejoin us if you want. So
I mean, if my R2D2 doesn't work this week, you can always have all the innards to that. Donor parts.
I was expecting a better laugh from, because I found a UK company. It's if you go back sort of 3 or 4 years, I would never have touched Chinese electronics if you paid me to. But I've realised that they're really coming along, and the reason they're cheap is really just because of the wages out there. And but there's still a place for the UK market. And I mean, I mentioned this to you before we start the show, Horlicks, but I'm working on some blinking lights for the. I'm gonna show off this. It's not anything too exciting, but this is an experiment I was doing regarding blinking lights. I don't know if you can see those, but I've hooked up 3 sets of LEDs. This set there is what I've done is I've got a signal coming from the Arduino, one of the ports. I've then got the wire running through a resistor, and then I've split it 3 ways. And as you can see, it's the, why is it not working? Oh, there we go. You can see it's the dimmest one of the 3. This one, I've run it from the port, then I've split it 3 ways, and then I've put each one on a resistor. So they've got their own separate resistor, and they're actually quite bright. They're certainly brighter than this one. And then this one there has got no resistor at all, which I was feeling uneasy about, because one of the first things I learned with electron or LEDs is that if you don't put a resistor, there's too much power going through and it burns the LEDs out. So I'm looking at that as some kind of voodoo. Why are my lights not burning out?
Are they in the 5 volt or the 3.3?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know. They're coming straight out of the port.
Oh, of
you know,
course.
Port. So
yeah.
I assume 5 volts.
Mhm.
So, but
Unless
what
it's
I've
because
done,
there's 3 in series, maybe because obviously you can put an LED on like a watch battery, can't you? And they're what, 1.5 volts. So perhaps because you've got 3 on it, if you just took that down to
it
1,
works equally well with 1.
right?
I pulled 2 out, but it doesn't affect the dimness, because what we've done is we've split the power 3 ways. So there must be some kind of what do you call it? I forget what it's called now, but it's a capacitor. So the capacitor acts as like a mini battery. So it charges the capacitor up and it draws the power from the capacitor. But these are all the things that I'm experimenting with. So I got my, we'll put the light back on. So I got my 750 LEDs that come the other day. And oh, didn't we have fun trying to solder those wires though?
Oh God, yeah.
This is one of my logic lights, and that's got 40 bulbs in there, or will have 40 bulbs. But the one that we worked on, trying to solder these pins was a nightmare, because you've got 80 wires coming out of there now, or you will have, and it just didn't work, because I think my solder joints, you're trying to get 2 solder joints within a 3mm gap, and you do the solder joint just slightly too big, is then touching another solder joint, which is then causing a short circuit. I'm seeing a new face.
Hi, Penny.
Dave Mill, how are you? Oh, wow. Fantastic. I have so wanted to get Dave on the show.
Hello, Dave.
Hi.
Hi, Dave.
Oh, wow.
Managed to get it working on my iPad.
I don't know why the link didn't work. Wayne, when you clicked the link, did it just come straight in?
Yeah, and then I just click join, and here I am.
Yeah, some people are having trouble. Some people have had to send an email. Listen, Dave, please do not run away. I really want to have a little chat with you. But yeah, the lights was. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to solder the wire to the end of the LED pin, and then we are going to put a little bit of heat shrink tube over the top. And this came today. This is a 12-meter roll of heat shrink, and this came from a UK company. It was only about £5. And the other thing that I bought, because there's a company called Banggood and there's another one called AliExpress, and they do mixed resistors. And I don't really want to buy a pack of 100 or 200 resistors just for 20 that I need. So I found 100 resistors for about £1.20, and I wasn't sure exactly how many I would need. So I bought 500 of them. I thought that'll do. So, and they come on a big strip. So that should be enough there. I've got my servos for the flappy flaps. What do you call it, Horlicks? Happy flapping?
Happy flapping.
Is that what you said?
What
when I
are
said
you thinking about, Billy?
two flaps, the ones along the top there.
Oh, the lightsaber flap.
Yeah, and all sorts. But I'm sure you said something about happy flapping. So it's all coming. It's all coming along.
It's looking good. For components, we're quite lucky here because I live in Corby. That's the main distribution centre for RS components. So any electrical stuff, they've got a shop here that you can buy individual bits. So
I spoke to RS Components because one of the things that confused me was the wires. 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I knew nothing about electronics. Most of what I know has come from Love Minis and doing these. I put you know me. I put something down, it's disappeared. But I've got the big starter set for the Arduino, and basically what we did was we put the CD in the computer, we followed the sketch, and off we go. And I got really excited because I managed to get an LED light to blink, and I'm like, "Yay!" My first
You've got this one, Benny. It's same as me. Yeah, massive.
That's it. I think it's the same one that Wayne's got as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you got that one as well.
Yeah, I've got mine here actually. Look, I've turned my cover around though, so I've got all the parts. You see?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of these projects where I'm having to adapt them to work for the way I want to work them is really the biggest challenge. To be honest with you, printing parts off and gluing them together is, by comparison, is the easy part. It's just waiting for the printer to finish. I keep a spreadsheet of everything that I do, how much filament I've used, what length of filament, the cost of the filament, and how long it took to print. And I record failed prints and successful prints. And I've been doing this now for about 2 months, and I've done over 200 hours worth of printing, and I'm not finished the body yet.
God, Penny, I noticed that on your print bed you've got the blue tape. Is that on top of the bed, or is that stuck directly to the bed? It's
stuck onto the glass. Right, the glass plate I've replaced that. That's gone in the bin. What I've done, I might have another one somewhere. Anyway, I bought 4 mirrored tiles from Dunelm for about a tenner, and I put that on because a word that seems to be used especially a lot in the 3D print world is a word called Chinesium, which means something's been made with something cheap. And the Creality printer is very much a Chinesium printer, so you need to replace certain bits. So the first thing that goes is the glass plate, which is very rarely absolutely level. So there's a mirrored plate gone on there. But recently I've had so much problems getting stuff to stick, so I've resorted back to the masking tape, and the masking tape has worked really well. But then I ran out of the tape that came with the printer, so I've gone and bought the blue painter's tape, and that's worked rather well. But after so many prints, where the print is trying to warp slightly, it's actually pulling the masking tape off the bed. So I get about 5 or 6 prints before I need to replace the tape. But yeah, that's basically what it is.
Oh God, no, because I've been reading up on it, and it's talking about this blue tape and also hairspray of all things. But
yeah, hairspray was working. Yeah, hairspray is awesome. But But what I'm looking at doing next is a bigger one of these. This is lock build, and this has got some kind of surface that the plastic sticks to. But I got one of these before, and it was a bigger one, and I stuck it down onto the build plate, and I printed, and this stuff sticks so well. I was actually destroying the prints trying to pull them off the bed. So what my plan was to buy another one of these, but instead of sticking it down, hold it down with bulldog clips, so that when the print is finished, I can just take this off the bed, and then just do that with it to get it off, rather than trying to pull, because the prints were just splitting in half where it was sticking so well. It was actually a stronger grip than the actual layers.
So, if you don't mind me asking, when you tried to pull the print off the bed, did you let it cool, or were you impatient and tried to get it off straight away?
Both.
Because I found with my Ultimaker, like, if I do a large print, there's no getting it off the bed at all. It just will not, it won't come off. But if I let it cool for 15 minutes and I'm patient, it just falls off.
Yeah. No, I tried both. But what I've found, it's a little bit more costly, but what I've found is now giving me the best results for me personally is the blue tape and then a kitchen knife to get it off with. And you just kind of, you pick the brim up and then you just get the knife underneath and then you just pop it in gently and you just kind of lift it. And then you slowly get the knife under, and then you just kind of do that with a knife, and it just lifts it gently. So, but the tape is only good for about 4 or 5 prints. So, but I'm getting some really. I mean, I don't know how well you can see this, but the Boo Boo legs are absolutely amazing.
They've come out excellent.
They have. The body is okay, but the body has stabby. The body has been printed on a 0.3 layer height, which is a little bit rough. Pretty much everything on my R2 has been printed with 0.3, but whether with the R2, whether you do it on a 0.01 mil layer height or 1 millimeter, there's going to be a certain amount of sanding. So take a few hours off the print time, add on an extra 10 minutes of prep time, you still saved yourself a lot of time. So the body is good to do on 0.3 layer height, especially as I'm going to be sticking feathers over the top. But the legs, sometimes with these small bits that need supports, it's better to do them on a really fine layer height. And that's what I've done. And those legs took a lot longer to do than the body did. But I think the results have been worth it on that one.
I bet your printer never stops, does it?
It probably doesn't. This is part of the reason I do split shifts, so that I can go in, get a print going, go off to work, do about 4 hours work, come home in my lunch break, get another print going, and then when I come home at night, another print to try and get a small print on. And then I can get that finished so I can get a print going overnight. And but yeah, no, that printer has been going.
Well, it's like, you know, when you first got the printer, didn't you? You asked me and said, "Oh, do you?" And I said, because I don't leave mine on, just because the fear of wasting filament. Because a few times I've come back to a big mess with my old printer, my Vector 3 from Eagle Moss. That was a shocking printer. But yeah, I just never left it on. But to be fair, since you Penny introduced me to this Octoprint, I've now got a monitor for mine, and now I've got a decent printer. I trust it 100%, so I will happily leave that on.
Yeah.
I mean, the longest print I've done on that, I think now is 72 hours. And
wow.
I think that was for this drawer system, just for the shell. Because I printed the little drawers out, didn't I? So just the shell was like 70 odd hours. And I don't understand why.
What layer height did you have it on?
I think it was on best, so that's probably why actually.
Why? You see, with something like that, I think you just want to put it on a 0.3 or 0.4 layer height.
And then my,
you're done.
I mean, you've seen this anyway, but my music box I made, that was made with 2 different printers and different filaments, and that's finally working now.
Yeah.
But
you see, my idea of 3D printing has completely backfired on me, because there's all these part works that they're absolutely amazing. I'd love to have them all. And each part work is about 40 quid a month. And obviously the miniatures that I buy are 15, 20 quid each. And I kind of looked into it and I thought, like, a miniature that would cost me, say, £40 at Games Workshop, I can knock off for about 2 quid. I missed the concept here. He cost me about £1 to make. So I thought, great, I can now print off my own miniatures. But I've now got so much into projects that I'm actually, the R2 is costing me about 40 quid a week in plastic. So it's kind of backfired on me there, because I'm just spending more money on printing. But the stuff that I've got, I mean, I'm going to show you this. A lot of you have seen it, and I do apologise. In fact, I'll use this camera. I've got, obviously, what comes with miniature painting is paints. And having somewhere to store your paints is an advantage. So I printed off. I'm just going to move the camera, actually. So this is my paint rack that I printed off.
Oh, God.
And that's just one part of it. And then there'll be half of, well, there'll be that again, but half down there and half down there. So I'm showing off my room. And then my Citadel paints are in their own little racks like this. And then I've adapted the racks to suit some different shaped bottles. So there's that one. And then I've got some more adapting to do for some other paints. And now suddenly all my paints are nice and tidy. And it also shows me all the paints that I need to buy, because I put them in numerical order. So where there's a gap there, it means I don't actually own the paint. So now I'm looking at that gap and I'm going, must buy that paint. I have absolutely no need for that colour, but I must buy it to fill the gap. So, yeah, everything adds cost, doesn't it? And, of course, I now want to buy the... there we are, the Dark Star paints, because these come out looking like metal. They are just absolutely amazing. So anyway, we are now neglecting somebody. What we'll do is we'll go over to Dave Mill, and then I want to ask, or actually I want to throw a few questions at Wayne, if Wayne's able to stay a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm reading all about Octoprint.
So I'm going to go over to Dave, who has put himself onto mute for some reason. Dave,
sorry, I can do a bit of advertising as well. If you, I actually installed Octoprint, and I've done a video on my YouTube how to set it up and install it.
Ah, cool.
You might find that helpful.
Excellent.
And if you want to go really advanced, my latest project is this print monitor, which is it's like an add-on, so I can have, it's a bit like a smart meter. So downstairs, I can have this sitting downstairs, and then it relays some of the information on there about how my print's doing through Octoprint. And this cost me about £6 to build.
That's excellent.
Completely from scratch. So yeah.
So, Mr. Dave Mill, how are you?
Not too bad.
Good. I see you've got your Christmas lights up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Dave Mill, tell us all about your Routemaster build and how far are you up to? And the question that I always ask everybody, what was your favourite and least favourite issue? And by least favourite, I don't necessarily mean you hate it, just that maybe it wasn't as stimulating as another issue.
Least favourite was building the engine.
So say again. The engine.
Yeah.
Oh, your least favourite?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, now that was my favourite.
Are we talking about issue 29 here?
No. Issue 29 was nice and easy and relaxing.
I've still got it, and I'm scared.
No, don't be scared.
No, that's all right.
It was a nightmare.
It was, wasn't it? But don't you feel satisfied after you finished it?
Yep. Issue 42 I enjoyed when we're putting the front on.
Green's really bad, isn't it?
Oh, issue 42 that I forgot to do 2 of the clips for.
Was it 42?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the
At
one
the
we
end,
done
yeah.
at the start of the show. That Adrian had spent weeks telling us that we forgot it. And we were like, no, we've done it. And then he pointed it out, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot to do that bit. I missed that.
I can imagine issue 29 that you were talking about to be like the DeLorean, where we had to put all those cables through the inside of the interior.
Oh,
that was a nightmare.
I've watched videos on that. Wayne, do you want to talk us through that one?
You must be talking about issue 48.
Yeah,
that number sends shivers through my spine.
I've seen it. I've heard it described as that issue.
Yeah, I mean, mine sort of went all right. I was really happy with it, but I had to cheat and use a dab of glue here and there.
Well, I used the fishing wire to tie them rather than using the cable ties. And I mean, 48 was hard. I found it a lot harder actually putting the pins into the control board, especially when we got issue 91 and the thing wouldn't turn on because the batteries were flat. But of course, that was the last thing I'm going to check is the batteries. So I ended up having to take everything out to put it back in again. And I honestly, I was crying. I had to edit it from YouTube because I thought I broke it. How am I going to demonstrate it now? But finally, it works.
Was that the one that you spent about 8 hours pulling it apart again?
That was issue 91. So where everyone has problems with issue 48, my bugbear was 91 at the moment.
But everybody has that issue, don't they?
Yeah.
A different issue with different people, but yeah.
Plus, I had my issue 99 where I lost my voice and I was ill and I just didn't know what I was doing. And I ended up breaking everything. So I had to buy the issue again in the end to do it all.
But I think that issue summed you up, Wayne. You were ill. You could have just gone, like, I'm having a week off, my voice. But no, the show had to go on. You had to get your videos out to get everybody out. And I think that sums you up.
Thank you. I just can't get ill again.
Yeah. No, you're not allowed to be ill, but yeah.
Where I'm up to is I've just picked up the air, but I've got it lost on hold until after Christmas.
I'm really sorry, Dave. I think someone's just gone outside and has got the wind.
Can we turn Dave up a little bit?
Yes, I will do that because he's very quiet, isn't he?
But I'm just wondering if you're hearing us or not.
Yes, I could just about hear you.
Right. I've turned you up, Dave.
As I was saying, I've just picked up the seats the day for, so I've got all 8 seats now, so I'm ahead, but I've got the issues on hold till after the Christmas. Because the Christmas tree's standing where I build my model.
Yeah, I actually quite enjoyed those seats, but I'm concerned about next week. We won't go into that again, but yeah, we've got. But I did like the seats because they've added. Well, I'll show you because I've still got it in front of me. So I need quick keys for my camera views. So I think once those seats have gone in, it's really added something to the build. I mean, you've got the driver's cab, which looks amazing, but just a very simple addition of the seats, it's just really livened it up. Because you go back, say, 10 weeks, it was just a chassis, and it could have gone into a bus, it could have gone into a truck, you know, it could have gone into anything. It's not till we got the driver's cab and seats in that is now a Routemaster. So I'm trying to get all my least appealing things in. Oh, apparently, Wayne, you've made a mistake.
I probably have. What have I done?
Sol has said, "Hi, Wayne. You made a mistake on the DeLorean. It's the junction box on the back. It's upside
down. Yeah, I've fixed it.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I saw that video. Yeah, and then I looked at the I always look at the comments, and yeah, I saw that Wayne acknowledged it. So
see, I
mean,
do this so I can see people are watching.
Yeah, that's it. You test us.
I can't see the chat.
I'm as we've got 3 YouTubers on here at least, and a couple of people in the chat. I'm going to just change the subject a little bit, and I'd like to bring up a comment. Talking of comments, I'd like to bring up the subject of negativity. Obviously, we're all going to get negative. We're going to get dislikes. We're going to get negative comments, and I think I have a bit of a strange opinion that once you start to get dislikes, it's probably because you're starting to go somewhere. Someone, maybe it's jealousy, maybe they don't like you. But I'd like to know your thoughts, Wayne, on negative comments and dislikes.
Well, dislikes I love dislikes because it all goes towards engagement and SEO. So regardless of whether they get a like or a dislike, they bundle it all into one, and the higher your rating for that, the higher the SEO for that video will be. So it'll be higher in the search rankings. So I don't mind dislikes, but I do get like 1 to 4 dislikes in every video. I've only had them since I left that official Facebook group, apparently, you know, with
it's funny that when me and Horlick started this live show around about issue 20, we were getting 1 dislike every video, and it was about 3 separate weeks where we got a dislike before the show even went live, which we thought was quite funny. But the day that my issue 1 of the R2D2 went live, I got 28 dislikes, and I just thought 7 of those were all on the same video, and I thought someone has taken a lot of time and trouble to put those dislikes in. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Pretty much the same that you've just said.
Well, the dislikes, I said, I really don't. I don't really pay much attention to it because I said that's to me that's just like engagement, so that's good for the videos. Oops, I've just taken my headphones off, so bear with me a second. I can hear you again now. That's better. Okay. And then the other thing is with negative comments, I'm really clamped down on the moderated words in YouTube. So if there's any nasty words, it will automatically put it into the help for review, so I can check things there. And realistically, I've had about 8 or 9, which have been really, you know, you've got to be having a joke sort of thing. Like, I mean, the worst I've had, I don't know if you remember, about, I don't know, 3 months ago, I had a cut on my hand here. And you'd see it on the video, I had a cut, and someone says that someone must have bit me while I was raping them or something. So I was like, okay. But because that was one of the words that went in my moderation, it went hell to review and no one saw it. So
no.
It's just attention seeking. I don't really pay much comment. You can't take comments too seriously, because if you do, it will depress you big time, and you can't. You can't be doing that, because at the end of the day, if someone wants to put a comment on, they're just trying to get attention from other people. They're not going to get attention from you, because you do what I'm doing, is just ignoring it. So, and that's the best thing to do, is ignore it. Don't rise to it. Don't feed the trolls, like they say. And then that goes. But even if you had a comment, like a helpful review, and then you get rid of it, it still, believe it or not, classes as an engagement. So
is it really?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, guys, if everyone could leave me a negative comment and put a bad review, go for it. No, I mean it. I've got to be honest with you. It really did hurt the first couple of times. I thought, I'm putting so much effort into something, and then you're just like, you know. And when I get negative comments or dislikes. Like, let's say you put up a 30-minute video, and then the comments are going up 10 minutes after it's been released. You're thinking, well, you've not watched the video. You couldn't possibly have watched it because it hasn't been up long enough.
You're right. You get comments on my videos which are 13 minutes long after about 5 seconds, and I haven't watched it.
Yeah, and you can tell when they've made the comment, because when it comes up in your notifications, Fred Blogs left a comment, you click it, it goes to the point of the video they made the comment, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So, they can sometimes put the comment on as well, you know, the actual time that they're commenting about. But I mean, I get so many comments now that I rather than comment everybody, I just tick them and put a lot like a love, so people know that I've read the comments, sort of thing. But again, if a troll wants to write something nasty, I don't pay any attention, so I'm not rising to it. And you know, it's just like if someone's ignoring you, you can't keep talking to them, so they just go somewhere else and chase someone else.
Yeah. I mean, I had one guy, I forget the comments he was making. The funniest one I ever made though was it was something that I'd made. I'd seen another YouTuber make Sterling mud. You've got this product. What this is fake mud, basically, which you put onto the bases of miniatures, and this is £5 a pop. And what this guy had done is he'd worked out a way of making it for about the equivalent of about 50p. But there was a few loose ends. He's very much an experimenter. What if I do this? This is what happens. So what I did is I took his concept and then I tried to take it one stage further. And obviously I don't like plagiarisms, so I will say, oh, I got this idea from World of Wayne, and then what I've done is blah 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 blah. And this guy had left this comment, and it said something like 42 minutes to explain that you've just ripped somebody else off. And I'm like, you haven't really understood the concept. But it was something else. He called me something as well, and at first that did hurt because I'm like, well, I'm putting this effort in, but
yeah, like I'll play with them sometimes. Like I did a video about how to build a family coat of arms, because we created a coat of arms and put it on a flag for the family in the garden here, and someone said something like, oh, that looks absolutely lots of profanities, and I just said, yep, you're absolutely right, it needed more feathers.
Yeah. I've looked into coats of arms. My father's name, it's got quite a boring coat of arms. So, and then but my mother's side has got quite an elaborate coat of arms, and obviously, like in the old days, what they would do is they combine two coat of arms, wouldn't they, to make a new one. You can't possibly combine the two coats of arms because one is really fancy and one is really plain, and it would just look like that.
Oh,
so,
sorry, I've just got your subscription well away.
Yeah, I've just I thought I was already subscribed actually, Horlick. So I don't know why.
Thanks so much.
That's all right.
Yeah, Paul 61 has just said if he's not enjoying a video, he'll just stop watching it. Can't see the point in spoiling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. There's a couple of YouTubers that I've quite enjoyed their videos, so I've subscribed to them, and then it just kind of went to a point where I'm just not interested in them anymore, or maybe they've come out with something, a really strong opinion that I really strongly disagree. And all I do is I just hit the unsub button because their videos are no longer interesting me. A really good example actually is there's one YouTuber who reviews Doctor Who, and I put my hand up. I love Doctor Who, and I've been watching these review videos, and while I will agree that in my opinion this current series of Doctor Who is probably the worst one of all the new Doctor Who's, I don't see all these hidden political correctness agendas. But I think the reason that I don't see them is I'm not looking for them. I'm looking to sit down on a Sunday evening and watch a show that I enjoy. So these people that have, and when you start coming out with videos titled "Why You Must Hate Doctor Who Series 11," I'm like, hang on. I'm a free person here. Give me your opinions, and if I agree with them, I'll follow them. But don't tell me what I must and must not do. And there's one YouTuber, Cancel of Geeks, I think it is. I absolutely love his videos because he sits there and he goes, I didn't like this and I didn't like that, but I did enjoy this bit. And it's quite interesting that he likes bits that I didn't see the point in. But yeah, when YouTubers start putting out stuff that is no longer of interest to you, it's really not worth getting the notifications come up for me. So I'll just unsub.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mentioned it on my live stream last Thursday, but this Marty's Matchbox Makeovers, I'm hooked to the channel, and he hasn't been going for that long, but it's brilliant. He just takes old dinky toys which are wrecked and restores them.
Absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely,
Yeah.
I watch that a lot. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
Love his channel.
there's one YouTuber that I love. Is it back to 1985 or something? He started doing the Routemaster build, and he does his in a format that I think theoretically is so boring. You don't see him. He doesn't talk. All he does is he just builds it, and he's got little captions on the screen saying which screw or which part, and this part was assembled last week, and that's it. And you just see him, and he's got some backing music on, and you just see him, and that's it. And it's theoretically that's quite boring because there's no engagement from the author. But at the same time, it's one of the best videos I've seen.
A bit like the Agostini, like with the official R2D2 videos. That's the same. You just see a couple of hands and a bit of music, but it says everything.
But I think it's also the reason for people to engage. There's build diaries, there's instructional videos, and then there's on this show we've gone completely off where I'd originally aimed to go. I used to try to do an instructional video. This is how you do it, and then it kind of veered more into a video diary, and then we've turned it into a chat show. And basically what this show is me building my bus with my friend Paulix, and everybody else has been invited to engage. And I think there's quite a few people on this that don't actually build this but are enjoying the show. We enjoy the banter, and that's the way that I've gone with this show. And I think it works, and that's why there's a place for so many different YouTubers.
It's brilliant, just the whole community. You know, I mean, there's some other YouTubers that, you know, we'll have to maybe aren't so teamly, but, you know, generally as a whole, it's just fantastic community. And, you know, I really enjoy watching everyone else's builds, and, you know, I enjoy my own build. This show is brilliant, and it's, just it is really good. And a little bit of a, exclusive. There will be. I decided that everyone else has done it. I'm going to do a live final issue 100 of R2D2 to see if this thing is going to work or not. So, and I've invited Penny to come on with me on mine. So I'll announce that soon. I'm still waiting for my last 3 issues.
Got mine built. I just need batteries.
Pardon?
Got mine built. I just need batteries.
Do you know what? I got my batteries probably a month ago from 18650 before, you know, they did anything about them, and they've been sat there. But I've done a boo because, I mean, I vape, and obviously I use 18650s all the time, but I've gone ahead and charged them all up thinking, oh yeah, I'll have my new issues soon. But I don't know if I've hit a delay, but they've been sat there fully charged for probably about 3 weeks now.
You got in there first, though, didn't you, Horlicks?
Yeah, I was. But do you know what? 18650 UK were brilliant because I got in contact with them and told them that I think they're going to have a massive influx of orders, and then they were interested to see my build, so I sent them some pictures, and I got chatting, and then obviously they decided to do the R2D2 discount code. And they were so good that they actually refunded me the difference because I got them before that. So yeah, they were brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
But you've done something for them, and you know, there's been a couple of things. I mean, I got you know, if you start doing something, I don't think it's necessarily about being good at it. I think it's more about being consistent, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. I don't think I was the only one to mention. I think other people were in contact with them as well. It just happened that maybe I was the first because they were interested to know what I was on about, and they wanted pictures of R2. So I tried to get a nice picture together of it, sort of together best I could. you know, but and they were really impressed. And
well, my batteries were sitting on the side here for a month before I put them in, and when I put them in the R2, they were still at 92%. So
right,
so you won't have a problem there. And they're only 2,100 milliamps hours. They're not 2,600.
right. And then obviously I've learned as well not to leave them clear. Yeah, I mean, you know, don't leave them flat, because I had I thought I left my e-cigarette at work, so I actually got out my old one, which I had stored in this box down here for probably 6 months. I've now got 3 8650s that are absolutely dead as a door now. They've got like 0.2 volts in them, so they need to go in the bin. My charger won't pick them up. I think you can bump them by connecting these to a charge battery, but I've heard that it's very unsafe because of, you know, how they're made up inside, and they can short. So I'm just going to dispose of them, but I don't know what to do with them. I don't want to put them in the bin.
Down your local recycle centre, they've got a place for them.
Yeah, I was going to, like, if you go to Aldi's and stuff like that, they've got the little battery thing.
Yeah, so does Poundland. They have a battery thing as well, normally behind their tills.
But I'm too scared to drop these in case that they start shorting with another battery. I suppose I could put a bit of electrical tape around them.
Tape them up, yeah.
I know. I'm just worried that I'm going to set Aldi alight or something, and then I'll be add up for.
Hang on. I'm just subscribing to BBC News. Keyword Aldi fire.
So I'm scared, and obviously we've got another one downstairs that it is fully charged, but my partner did something with it, and it actually started venting, and it blew a hole in the side of it, and it's still fully charged, but it's downstairs. I just don't know what to do with it. I've just hidden it in the corner of the room. I'm just you know, what can you do?
Right, as we've not got a massive amount of time, and part of this stream was to do an experiment with how many people we've got on. Would you mind if I tried to just get the format of the quiz going, in that to come in and answer the question, you just say your name, and then hopefully your picture will come up. So I'm going to just chuck a couple of really simple questions, just the first things on the top of my head. And then what I'm going to ask is, anyone who wants to can jump in. But obviously, if you've answered a question recently, if you just hold back a bit, just so that I can, over a few questions, everyone comes in. Would that be all right?
Okay.
Brilliant. So I will start off with, what's 2 + 2?
4. Dave
Mill.
4.
Lovely. What is 1 + 2?
3.
Oh, you're supposed to come in with your name.
Wayne.
There you go. Nice. I'll give you that, because you're with it. You're within 200-300%. So next question: what colour is the Routemaster bus?
Horlicks.
I think Dave Say pops up on that one first. Dave Say?
Yeah,
red.
Well, that isn't strictly true, because of Dave's build. The answer could have been a choice of 3.
It could.
Hang on. We'll just have a judgment call on that one. Okay, and what colour is R2D2's dome?
Dave.
Horlicks.
Oh, I think I got Dave Milne come up first on that one.
I'm colourblind. Just useless asking me.
Okay.
It's silver with blue panels.
So
Kevin is shaping, but it doesn't work. I think we may need to do it. I like the way Sol has just covered all the bases. Green, red, blue. It's a little bit like my auntie calling the names of the family. She'll just shout every single name. She's bound to get it right eventually. John, Mary, Fred.
I'm wondering, I don't know. I think it's quite good. Like, well, obviously, it's brilliant having everyone on here, but I think with the quiz aspect, I just feel it might be a little bit messy.
Do you think?
And we're not going to be able to have, obviously we've got a lot of viewers here. You've got Fleetwood that unfortunately had technical problems and had to come off. You've got Paul. There's loads of people there that aren't going to be able to contribute.
Well, no, I mean the audience can jump in. I'm just.
The live feed's going to jump in quicker than the text did.
Oh yeah. But the viewers, that's kind of like something separate. I mean, I'm just thinking. I mean, I might even end up resorting to a random draw for everyone that's commented. Will then be entered into a draw. But I mean, the bottom line. Answering Sol, did you get my message about answering on Messenger? I think I did.
I mean, the only other thing I suggested was that possibly once you've read the question, first one to correctly answer that pops up in the chat. So,
right.
What colour is the Routemaster? And then everyone on the chat types the answer. And then the first person to get the correct answer that comes up on the chat first. I don't know if that would be more of a fair way of doing it.
Would anybody have problems typing something in? No. Should we give that a quick try?
I've only just found the chat,
I can see the chat.
No, I just wonder if maybe lag would work for anyway. Okay, well look, let's
can't see the chat.
Let's try. I'll try a question that's fair for. I was going to pull Mr. Concept up and say what colour is his suit, but I just remembered that Wayne said that he's colourblind.
Oh yeah. I have to get Mrs. World Wayne's Esther, by the way. So I have to get Esther down to look at the colours for me sometimes, especially in these cables that are wrapped around, because I'm hopeless, absolutely hopeless.
Is there glasses you can get for that, like special glasses?
Oh, I don't know. It's the funny thing is with color blindness, I can see colors fine. People think it's weird that I can't see colors. I can see them fine, but when they're really close together and small, it's the browns looking more like a red, and a red might look like a brown looks like a green. But if I saw like that on a bit of paper of that full color, no problems at all. I can see that color. It's weird.
Right. Okay, I'm going to chuck a couple of questions. I'm going to ask you to type the answer. No, I'll tell you what might be fairer is if you type a letter. Would that work, do you think?
We can do. What's the delay on?
Right, I'll tell you what then. Can you all get ready on the keyboard? I'll do a countdown.
Yeah.
As soon as you hear me say go, type the
answer. Do a question or something.
All right. The answer is going to be 1. So I'll do a countdown from 5 to go. As soon as I'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. As soon as I hit go, you all type 1, and we'll see what happens. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Cook somewhere.
Oh, you have to spell it out, don't
you? There's quite a bit of a delay.
Well, I don't know. As soon as you said that, Wilder Wayne came straight up with that one.
I was very eager.
But then that was a bit because everyone knew what they were going to type, so they probably already had it written.
Right. So, the only other thing I can think of then is if we have 5 people on the quiz, because the main sections have got 5 questions, and then we can perhaps start with the person who's got the least points. They pick a number between 1 and 5, and that relates to a question. But then I don't know how we would do the year ones, because it's going to be 12 questions.
Let's just chuck something else in there. Let's just do that one more time, that text chat, okay? How many wheels? Right now, yeah. How many wheels does a Routemaster have? Type it now.
Can't text.
I can't text either, Dave.
You can't text on an iPad.
I'm on the iPad as well. Can't text or see it.
Of course. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
when you're live on an iPad,
all these silly people
text.
have gone 6.
After 7 because the steering wheel.
Yes.
Yes, but no, Penny. It's not trick question time.
Listen, you picked on me with one of my questions when I said, "What colour is the Routemaster?" That was just revenge.
No. Oh. No, yeah, we'll have to have a think about that. It's difficult, isn't it?
Then this is why we've done it on this show.
Yeah.
So that we can iron out any bugs, because this is the first time we did this was the actual quiz, and then someone could then rightfully say that wasn't fair because we've tried to identify it as soon as we can. So,
how about if just you and Alex did the quiz without anybody else live, which would give us all then the chance of typing in the answers?
What you mean? I asked Horlicks the questions and he answers them.
No, you ask the audience.
Basically, me and you. Yeah, I think. So like me and you, Penny, do just the live as normal, and then all the viewers do it on the chat.
Okay.
Or
otherwise, when we're live like this, we cannot.
I need about 400 questions then.
Or if you want me to join in with the quiz, I can not be live. Mind you, I can actually type as well because I've got 2 monitors here. So yeah, it doesn't really matter to me either way. But yeah, I could still join in because I can still type.
Right. See, the thing is, like Kevin's just pointed out, if you've got an iPad or something, that might be a little bit more difficult than someone like I've got a keyboard and I can type quite quickly, so I'm in. And as you can see, Wayne can obviously type quite quickly as well.
But don't forget though,
when you're not live.
Yeah. And the only other, but don't forget, you're going to be asking proper questions, so that some of us, probably especially me, are probably going to have to think about the answer. So it's going to give people. It's not like saying what colour's the Routemaster. Everyone's going to bash their keyboard because everyone knows the answer. If you've got more difficult questions, I don't think it's necessarily all going to be. Oh, I don't know.
See, every question that I've got doesn't require a really long answer. Possibly with the exception of one. I think it could work as a text. But obviously, if we've got like 50 people and everybody got one question right.
Well, yeah, I mean, you win some, you lose some. You'll have to type quicker.
Fastest finger
first.
Fastest finger first, isn't it?
I think it could work.
I mean, that's just my opinion. I just think it might be better chat-based and more fair rather than trying to squeeze. Because some people, it's difficult, isn't it? Because some people can't be live and chat. Some can't get onto the live because they might not have the
Which
technology.
Is why we've got one prize for the viewers.
Right.
Because I mean, I'd like to give a little bit back to the viewers anyway. So we don't know what it's going to be because we've got 4 prizes, and first, second, and third picks the prizes, and the viewer gets the one that's left over. But I think it'd be nice to sort of give something back because these guys watch us every single week, whether we have a good stream or a bad, and they come back every week. In fact, more people come each week. I know it's a little bit low today, but it's not an actual build today, is it? So it's just, I mean, one thing that's springing to mind, and I'm going to sound a little bit critical here, is the end of the day, this quiz is meant to be fun.
Yeah.
And I know that there's 1 or 2 people that won't be taking it too seriously because it's meant to be a fun quiz. And hopefully, I mean, one of the questions, one of the sections is designed, hopefully it'll be fun. And maybe.
Can I give you a
Makes sense.
suggestion for the view for the chat group?
Yeah.
I used to be on international scale model, and they used to do a live stream. And what they used to do is you pick a number between 1 and 1,000, and whoever got the Paul then used a random generator which he got off the internet, and whoever got that number won the prize.
I like that. I really like
I think random.
Or the nearest to it, yeah.
because I can do the number generator very, very easily.
You could even do one with Arduino.
Yeah, well,
on your phone, yeah.
I've just got to remember how to do Google now.
Actually, there's one on.
Hey,
one
Google.
on Google.
Choose a number between 1 and 1,000.
Okay. 369.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the number generator, okay? Hey, Google. Hey, Google.
It sounds as responsive as
Who makes
R2D2.
the best YouTube videos out of everybody?
Playing best YouTube everybody videos on YouTube.
Oh.
You're making my Google go off on my phone.
You know what? I'm going to have to show you this because you will not believe me if I told you. This is the result that's come up. I couldn't make that up. Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys.
I could not make that up. I was hoping it was going to come up Paint with Penny, but obviously my phone hasn't been trained enough yet.
Right, peeps, I've got to go. All right.
Yeah, no problems. Thank you.
It's been nice seeing you all, though. All right?
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you.
The great show Wade you do.
Thank you. Take care.
So I think that the idea of the number generator is going to be brilliant for the Pick and the Viewer prize. And I think I'm kind of the last section is going to be the throwing the questions over to whoever. I wonder
so what I could do is I could keep an eye on the chat, and then every time someone messages on the chat, I will sit here in the background with a piece of paper, write down the name and then their number. So I'll do say Soul was the first one to write something. I'll put Soul 1, and then later on I'll type up what everyone's numbers are.
Yeah, or we can put it in a spreadsheet.
There is that, but will that take too long? I could just be sitting here scribbling it down while you're.
Well, what I can do is I can have you type a name into the spreadsheet, you put their number, and then you'll have another box somewhere else where you type a number, and then the third box after someone's name will be how many difference between the number that's picked and their number, and then you put a conditional format so it automatically highlights the smallest number.
Right, okay.
I've just confused you there, but in my head I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I need a shave, look like a bear.
When you're doing a random number one, if somebody puts more than one number, you disqualify them.
Yeah. I would
put loads of numbers in.
The first number that you write down
one
is
number
your number
per person.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we can get 5 people taken part, then my 5 main sections will work. So will my general knowledge. It's just the 12 questions at the end we'll sort out.
I think we're definitely going to have to. We're going to have to allocate numbers, because if we ask the viewers to pick a number, it's not going to work. Because if, say, Sol says, "Oh, he wants 42, and then I want 1, and someone else wants 57.
Hey, first come, first served.
It's going to be like, and then you do a random number generator between 1 and 500. It might pick a number that no one's picked.
Yeah, but we're going the closest to the number then, aren't we?
Yep, that's how they're doing
Yeah,
it on the national scale modeler.
But also, I mean, we can expect.
Yeah. I think they just.
What's our biggest viewer audience? 50, 55, 60?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
obviously we'd go for, say, a number between 1 and 100.
Yeah.
And then it would be the closest. The only problem with that is that the best numbers to go for would be 50, because that's going to be in the middle. If the random number generator comes up with 99 and you've picked 1, you're 98 away. But if you've gone 48, 49, 50, you're never going to be more than 50 away from the number, are you?
Yeah.
And I've just told everyone to cheat now, haven't I? So let's modify that then. The closest to the number without going over.
Oh, sorry. Just in the chat, Daniel Simpson getting ignored, so I'm off. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I'm
Daniel.
sorry. Have we ignored?
We're not meaning to ignore anyone. We're just just being us, really. No, we're
so
trying to think about the quiz. We do apologise.
Just put in the number.
Oh, and John said, I remember, sorry, you asked that before. Will we be putting in the advertising to the Routemaster?
Yeah.
I'm going to throw that question to everybody, actually. Will you be putting advertising inside the Routemaster? That's assuming we don't get any advertising come with it. I bet Dave does.
I don't think I'm going to do anything. I don't think I'm going to do any mods to it.
No?
I think the way they build it will be ready printed on.
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It might come with. I'm speculating maybe some magnetic boards that you can switch around to choose. Maybe a bit like the Lego bus. You had choice, didn't you?
Yeah. I do like the way that you've gone from no, I'm not going to do any mods, talking about magnetic boards that you switch around all in one sentence.
I was asking, Daniel Simpson said he's thinking about doing his own YouTube videos for his new builds in 2019. That'd be great to see. I'll certainly subscribe to that.
Definitely do it. When I started my YouTube videos, I have a bit of a self-esteem problem. And a lot of my early videos, they had no speech and no me on them. And it's really helped me grow as a person. I've gained confidence. And obviously we talked about the dislikes early on. And they did hurt. But my skin has got a bit thicker to things like that. And I'm kind of accidentally putting you off now by saying you're going to have negativity and stuff. But it's all... Your true people come through. People will enjoy your builds, and they will keep you going. I mean, I'm always saying that I did YouTube videos for me. I thought when I get to the end of this build, look back at issue 1 and 2. In fact, I still do look back at issue 1 and 2 sometimes, and I look at them and I think, oh my God, is that really my video? So
the level of detail that Dan's putting into his boss is absolutely superb, and he's bound to get an awful lot of people watching to see how he does these things, because he really does put some awful lot of amount of hours into it, and they really are nice.
Yeah, it's it. If he does how I made this. If people aren't interested, they don't need to follow it. They just watch how he did it. But maybe his mods look absolutely fantastic, but maybe they're a lot simpler than we think they are. And him having a video will show us how we can do it.
I think it will too. Yeah, I think it will.
Yeah. Right, so I cannot think of anything else that we need to include unless someone else can think of anything.
Can I just ask Dave something, please?
Yes, please do.
Yeah, Dave, is that a model bus collection behind you?
Yep. Two cabins. There's buses in one and wagons and cars in the other.
Right, okay. And is that a local Bristol L that you're sitting in on your profile pic?
No, it was brought. I think it was brought. It was brought up, and it was in Newcastle. There was two of them.
All right, United then.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Is that the one that featured on Heartbeat?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we were brought up and parked it outside the monument, and we were letting people go on, and so I got the chance to go in the cab.
Yeah, excellent. Have you got a bus background?
My dad's my dad, well, he's passed away now. He was a bus driver, then a coach driver. He's travelling.
Yeah.
He started off with Newcastle Corporation, driving the old PD2s.
Lovely.
Crash boxes.
Yeah, lovely. I passed my PSB on a PD2.
And as I say, he ended up being. He says he didn't like stopping at every bus stop, so he went at every stop. So he decided to go on the coaches, and he travelled all over England and Europe as a coach driver.
Yeah, lovely. Lovely. Have you got a bus background then?
No, can't drive because I've got poor eyesight. Love to.
Yeah.
I would have loved to follow my dad's footsteps, but my eyesight led us down with driving.
Yeah, that's a shame because you're very enthusiastic like me, aren't you? So.
Oh, I love the old buses. I'm not keen on the modern buses.
No.
Even though I've got one in the cabinet. I'm not stagecoach one, but I like the old stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, our local firm, East Yorkshire Motor Services, has just been taken over by Northern Bus and Coach. Is it up your way?
Yep.
Yeah, they've just been taken over, and I know the gaffer quite well at East Yorkshire Motor Services, and he didn't really want to give it up. He just wanted to retire more than anything else. And he looked around for somebody to buy the company, and saw what you lads were doing up there, and then decided to sell the company up there. So, but they've agreed to keep the company as is, without the Northern name to it. So we're rather proud and pleased about that.
Well, my dad used to work for a company called Moadeal, and Eddie Dunn was the gaffer of them, and he ended up being a director for Northern.
Wow. Well, it's part of a lovely company down here, an independent company that's been going since 1926, and they've got a very good reputation down here. So sorry, Penny, we don't want to take over too much.
No, it's interesting.
Do you know what? I just sat there watching, enjoying it, and I actually hit the mute button so that it didn't cut over to me. I was really enjoying that. I hope everybody else did as well. But no, it was really interesting. Newcastle, is that Arriva is the main company up there, isn't it, or is it Stagecoach?
Stagecoach. You've got Arriva.
I was up there. Yeah, I know. I was in Newcastle last New Year doing rail replacement. We were organising the bus service between the main station and the metro. And it was great. I was up there for just over a week. And, it kind of went a little bit sour in the end for reasons I don't need to go into. But it was nice to go. We actually stayed at a little hostel down, is it Shields Road, down Biker Way?
Yep.
And what was brilliant, I actually still had my old Arriva bus pass, and I found out I could get on the metro for free with this pass, and it was brilliant. I was going all over the place.
Surprised because the metro was tiny and weird.
Right. But I loved it. But I mean, it's like, where is it? Sheffield. I lived in Sheffield for a while, and they've got a tram system. And where's the other place? Manchester. but it's great.
Arriva tend to do a lot of the stuff to Northumberland.
Yeah,
They do the long distance sort of stuff.
well, they had the rail replacement contract, so they were running regular services.
And there's go ahead northeast to do a wide the city, but I would say Stagecoach are one of your biggest.
Right. So I know most of the service
they've got the worst buses, I think.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Yeah.
I travel up to my parents on an Arriva. The same sort of buses as the Stagecoach, but they've got more mod cons in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been on a bus for years since I was obviously a kid, but they've got like plug sockets on and all sorts now, haven't they? So you charge your phone.
Yeah.
Arriva have. Stagecoach different.
Oh, it's just
we had that at Arriva, and it was quite funny because between the time that they planned it and the time that they actually installed it, a lot of the phones started going over to these quick charging things. So what happened? People were plugging their phones in, and they were blowing all the fuses on the bus. So most of the buses, it doesn't actually work. And but the thing is, once you start giving someone something for free, they get to the point where they expect it. So people coming up to me and going, the charging sockets don't work. And I'm like, oh, I'm really sorry.
Do you do free Wi-Fi?
Yes. And then they're like, but it's advertised as free charging points. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not working. And they're like, but I've paid for this bus ticket so that I can charge my phone. And I'm like, no, but you've paid for your bus ticket so you can travel from A to B. So
technology is just it's taking over, isn't it?
I can understand it. I can understand them on long distance buses, but not local services.
No,
No.
Yeah, I mean, I did used to quite enjoy the National Express coaches from Norwich to London. They had plug sockets, so I could bring my laptop on the coach. 3 hours I can play about on my laptop, which was very handy. But yeah, if you travel, I mean, to be honest with you, 20-minute journey, can you really not do without for 20 minutes?
20-minute journey, it's not going to charge your phone much.
It's this day. I think, I mean, I know I'm young, but if my battery dies, I couldn't give a monkeys.
No.
It's just, but a lot of people, they're just attached to Facebook, and you'll see them with earphones in on Facebook, walking across main roads, and
nearly get knocked over by buses.
Yeah.
And then they've got the cheek to look at you in disgust, like,
Yeah. Well, I have this trick. When people get on my bus with headphones on, I mime to them.
Well,
so then they ask me to repeat, so I mime again. And then when they take their headphones out and ask me to repeat again, I then shout. And it's just really, so I'd be like, and they'll be, what? And they take their headphones out. I go, that'll be £1.80. And they're like, whoa. I'm sorry. I just have a bugbear about that. One of the things I hate is when people get on the bus before the other people have got off. And do you know who's the worst for that? Is the old ladies. And what I actually do, I'll pull up to a bus stop and I won't open my doors until the people getting off are by the front doors. And then if you get like an old lady who's taken a maybe she's bad legs or something, so she takes a while to get down there, you'll get people, they'll be like on the doors. So I'm just like, hello, wait a minute. But
there's a button, isn't there? Isn't there a button on the outside? Do they just start pushing that?
Not on ours, there isn't. We've actually got, you've got a little latch, and you've got to actually pull the whole thing out for the headlight, and you got to push the button in there to open the doors. And we do a lot of school buses, and I was waiting for we can only let the school kids on certain services. We can only let the school kids on if there's a school teacher. So I'm sitting there in my bus, no school teacher. The kids are building up all around. They're knocking on the window, and I'm just waving back to them. And one of them sees the red button on the side. Well, that's not how you open that one. That's how you dump the air. You've got like an emergency air dump on the side, and they're sitting there pressing this button, and it just goes, psh, and they're wondering why the doors don't open. And I'm like, yeah, we can't go anywhere now because I've got no air in the bus. It won't work. So, but
you're going to sit there and rev the engine up and build the air.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Christmas time. People think I'm a grouchy old sod because I hate Christmas. What I've found happens is that from Halloween, once Christmas hits the shop, everybody gets more and more stressed, and they don't necessarily notice they're doing it, but they take it out on whoever's around them, which is usually the bus driver. Us trying to be the professional people that we're supposed to be, we take it, but there's only so much you can take, and you end up getting to a point where the hassle gets more and more, and it's really starting to build up this week, and it gets to about Christmas Eve where we can't take any more, and someone will have a go at us, and then we'll be like, "Rah!" back at them, and the customer will go, well, there's no need to be like that. Christmas, spirit of Christmas and all that. And you're like, yes, but you've made us like this. But I've had 2 complaints about me in 2 days. Yesterday, we had this bus, and basically what happened was I ran a little bit late, and the bus in front of me was so late I'd actually caught him up. So we do this thing called leapfrogging. So the bus will come into the bus stop. The bus behind will completely ignore that bus stop. They'll overtake, and they'll go to the next bus stop and pick those passengers up. So then this one can then miss out that. So you're effectively doing every other stop. The only time that one falls down is if you've got passengers to drop off. So we're coming up to this stop. There's about 10 people waiting. And I've got this little old, the bus has already pulled in. I've got this little old lady that wants to get off, and I don't want to pick up at this bus stop. I just want to drop and go. So my tactic is to pull really forward on the bus stop, because people don't like making 4 or 5 steps to get to the bus. They'd rather get this one here. So I dropped this old lady off, and because there was no curb, it's already a drop curb. So I had to lower the bus. So lowered this bus, lady got off. Thank you very much, driver. I went to raise the floor, and it wouldn't raise. And it's one of those buses that will not go with the floor lowered. So I could not get this floor to rise. I didn't realize at the time, but it's a known fault. But I couldn't get, and I'm trying it with the doors open, the doors shut, in gear, out of gear, everything. Couldn't do it. So I thought, right, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. So I just hit the hazard lights. Bus behind me pulls up beside me, says, what's up, Penny? So I explain. And he goes, right, do you want to transfer passengers? And we can get the passengers on their way. Yep, lovely, great idea. So transfer all my passengers onto his bus. And then he says to me, try switching the engine off, switch the master switch off, everything, give it a reset, and then start it up again. I went, brilliant, I'll try that. So he pulls off. So I switch the bus off, switch it on, bang, everything's working fine. So off I go, and I carry on. Get to the bus station, and this guy comes up to me. He says, I've just put a complaint in about you. I said, oh, well, what have I done? He says, well, you've kicked us all off the bus, and then you've just carried on in service. I said, well, first of all, I didn't kick anyone off. I said, I advised them of the situation and suggested they get on the other bus. I said, and the reason for that was there was a problem. And he went, oh, and I said, well, and he goes, oh, well, why did you carry on then? I said, well, the problem got fixed. So now he starts swearing at me. So I'm going like, well, you know, he's going, oh, are you a mechanic now, are you? I went, no, I said, I just managed to fix it. So he's effing and blinding at me, and I've had this issue in the past where when people rear up at me, I end up rearing up back. And being the professional driver, I'm apparently not supposed to do that. So this time, though, I was the pillar of calm and loveliness, and I just said, "Well, sir," I said, "I suggest if you have a problem, you go to that office and complain." And he says, "Well, I have already bloody complained." And he's effing and blinding at me, and the only thing I've got left in my arsenal is, do you kiss your mother with that mouth? Is she really proud of the language you use? So he storms off complaining. And then I end up getting called in the office about it, and I explained it. And I'm like, well, as far as I'm concerned, the other driver, he's absolute example of teamwork. He saw I had a problem. He jumped in to help. He put the customer first. We got the customers on their way, and I just wish there were more drivers like him. And they're like, all right. Then today, I go back into work, and there's a bus coming, and I always give up. I'm like this, and the bus slows down and pulls in, and I'm thinking, oh great, I might get a lift into work. Now I know we're not supposed to pick passengers up between stops, but we let that rule lapse for bus drivers. Not all bus drivers do, and my viewpoint is if someone wants to stop between stops to pick me up, brilliant. If they choose not to, I'm not going to complain about it because they shouldn't be doing it. Anyway, turns out to be a new girl driving the bus being mentored by someone. So she slowed down, and then I can hear her mentor go, no, 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 no. All right, fair enough. I said, I'm going to walk on. Get back into town. I pop in the office, and the mentor's gone in and complained about me. Apparently, me doing this has scared the driver.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? So someone waving at a bus driver, and it's like, maybe they thought I was flagging the bus, but then surely a customer flagging, if a customer flagging a bus scares you, why are you a bus driver? You're in the wrong job. So yeah, what next? I make sandwiches for a living, and I get really scared when people mention the word beef. Can I have a beef sandwich, please? No.
So, sorry, going back to the question I wanted to ask. You said about the leapfrogging, so that you have to overtake the bus and then go on to the next stop. Why can't you park up behind the bus that's already in front and wait for that to pull off, and then get a bit ahead, and then give the other passengers that may have wanted your bus have a chance to get on?
Oh no! Sorry, let me reiterate. When you are both the same service,
right?
So a number 7 wouldn't leapfrog a number 5. But
right.
If the buses of if one bus is so late, say the number 1, it's so late that the number 7 behind number 1 is caught up, then you start to leapfrog. The only time that becomes a problem is when the bus behind now starts to get early. They then have to hold back because it's not allowed to be early.
We often have 2 in a row.
Yeah, but I mean, when you've got services that run sort of every 5 to 10 minutes, it's quite common. I mean, you only need to get someone in a wheelchair, an old lady that can't manage her shopping trolley, and someone that doesn't see anyone all week, so they need to have a chat with you. Next thing you know, you're 10, 15 minutes late. It's so easy to do. And you can't really say, oh, look what I got yesterday. And I really treasure this because to her, this is a big thing. I got a Christmas tip off an old lady. Oh. Werther's Originals. But it is a big thing, isn't it? It's like when I did taxis and the little old ladies would press a 20 pence piece into my hand and they go, there you go, this is for you. And to them, it's a really big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like Werther's Original anymore. They've taken all the sugar out of them, haven't they?
Yeah, because of all this sugar tax stuff.
They just don't taste like they used to.
Keeps you slim, though.
Yeah. Well, not me. I love mayonnaise. I'm addicted to mayonnaise. It's ridiculous.
What, you put mayonnaise on your Werthers?
No, but generally, that's where my weight comes from. But it's a good idea. I'll try it if you want.
No.
I know
Actually,
people that put their McDonald's chips into their milkshake.
yeah, no, it's surprising what you can come up with. Some of my best recipes have come up when I was drunk. Went out one night on a works do, and I discovered chips in custard, and that's surprisingly nice, especially if the custard is cold.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, potato's pretty neutral, isn't it? You probably have that with anything, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Penny, do your drivers dress up for Christmas for charity?
Do I?
Do your drivers, any of your drivers?
Yeah, we've got Christmas jumper fortnight, and we're raising money for Mind, and we've all paid £2 to wear a Christmas jumper. Bear with me. I'll go and get my Christmas jumper. Did I wear it? No, I didn't wear it last week. I'm glad you reminded me. I'll just go and get it.
Penny's off again, running up the high street.
We have Santa Claus driving our buses.
Yeah, we did too. Up this way, and an elf.
It's all very good, but the kids might get a bit confused if they see all these buses with like hundreds of Santas in them, and they're not going to know what's. Oh my god!
So this is my Christmas jumper.
Yeah, I like that. That's brilliant.
And it cost me £2 to wear it, £5 if I didn't wear it, which I thought was a nice little incentive to wear a Christmas jumper. And they're also selling raffle tickets. And am I on?
So none of your drivers have Santa Claus or an elf?
No, one of the drivers from another company, he's dressed up as Santa Claus, but I can't see how you can wear an itchy beard and all that clothing all day. It's bad enough wearing this because this is quite a warm jumper, but it does pick up the muck. Really, I don't know if you can see it.
No,
but
Penny, Santa's real.
I know Santa's real. And do you know you shouldn't be leaving him milk and mince pies?
No.
No. My stepfather taught me what Santa Claus really likes, and that's Indian pale ale and barbecue ribs. That's what you should be leaving Santa.
Yeah, he has too many, and you have to, I think he prefers carrot. Yeah, prefers carrot for the reindeer.
Yeah.
Well, why do you leave one carrot when there's 6 reindeer?
That's a good point.
Well, when I get one from every house in the street, so
one of my neighbours, when I was very young, he had a red torch, and what he'd do is on Christmas Eve he'd walk around the street shining this red light in everyone's window, so everybody thought Santa Claus was here, and that was Rudolph's nose. But it used to make me laugh because I always used to get a present from Santa Claus. And I always used to get a pack of batteries from Santa Claus. And it was, but Mum would go, oh, open the present from Santa Claus first. And you'd open them up and you got these batteries. And obviously I used to play along. But I'd think, oh, great, I've got something powered by batteries for Christmas. So, and then one year I forgot to get cigarettes. And you know, it's like buying stuff on Christmas Day. So from there on in, every year I'd get 40 cigarettes off my mum for Christmas, so that I didn't run out. 40 JPS, I still remember that. In fact, often if I see them, I buy them just for Christmas. But yeah,
I like the Sabrina cocktail cigarettes.
Oh, yeah,
but they're really expensive.
Yeah, what are they, about 20 quid a packet now, aren't they?
Oh, and the rest, I think, now.
Oh, but yeah, no, we used to have them, and we used to have Christmas dinner, and then we'd all have a cigarette, and we'd be, oh, look at us all posh. And then at the end of the day, yeah, but at the end of the day, you'd see these filthy full ashtrays full of ash and gold filter tips.
Well, your ceiling's gone nearly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Didn't they look horrible once you started to smoke them? And have you tried the Black Russian ones?
No.
They were quite good, but they were black. So, but they were a lot stronger and a little bit harsher. They're proper cigarettes. So, so are we all going to be bringing our Christmas presents to show everyone? Because I've got a present this year. I've got a box. I'm really excited about this. I've been looking at ways to like open up the corner just so I can have a little look in, but not
Who's
make.
that from?
This is from my very good friend Love Minis, who looks after me.
So you don't know what it is yet?
Have no idea. There is a label that says, but it's quite vague. So it could be anything, but I don't really look at the label. I mean, I'll change up to Christmas Eve. I'm always like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. I don't care if no one buys me presents. But Christmas Eve, I'll be sitting there going, oh, what have I got? What have I got? And then I might even keep myself up till Christmas Day. And then right on the stroke of midnight, I'll go, well, it's officially Christmas Day now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but this one, I've got to wait because I'm opening it on stream. So that means I've got to wait until at least 6 in the morning because America is 6 hours behind us. Yeah. So, yeah, this is the trouble with living in the future, you see. You have to wait for the past to catch up with you.
Oh, no, I'm not getting anything this Christmas.
Well, I'm hoping the wife's got me flash from my camera.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just going to... Steve Graham said about twirly birds. Well, we just call them twirlies. In a lot of places, you can't use your bus pass before 9 o'clock. And what happens is loads of people wait for the bus about 10 to 9, or 10 to 9, 5 to 9. They'll get on the bus and they'll go, am I too early? And that's why they're called twirlies.
Oh.
So, but what they do is they stand, they put one foot on the bus and they'll wait and they'll keep you talking until 9 o'clock and they'll go, well, it's 9 o'clock now, you can let me on.
It's 9:30 here.
Is it 9:30? See, it's different in different places, but Hertfordshire is 24/7. Yeah. Buckinghamshire is 9 o'clock. But in both of those counties, you can't use your pass before 9:30 if you come from outside the county. So what happens is you get a lot of Hertfordshire people come in early morning into Buckinghamshire, and then they want to get home at like 9 o'clock. And they can't use their pass. And they're like, but I used my pass to come in. But yeah, but you got a Hertfordshire pass and you got on in Hertfordshire. Now you're getting on in Buckinghamshire. You can't use it before 9:30. So,
I'll just going through some comments here. Johnson saying we'll be putting ashtrays on the back of the seats. We spoke about this last time, didn't we?
Downstairs was non-smokers, and anyway on the
yeah.
Right. Smoking was upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously I don't know what we're going to get either with the builds. It doesn't really. There's no detail on what, because obviously at the moment we've got those screws, haven't we?
Yeah.
But we don't know what's going to happen with them.
See, Sol's feeling left out from Love Minis. Fleetwood J, I think it's Fleetwood J, has covered the back of his seats with a little bit of veneer, and it looks really, really nice. But I think looking at those screws, they've got to cover it with something. Surely they've got to, because you can't leave the seat. You can't leave the seats like that.
Well, hope so.
Could get some plastic cord.
Yeah, I mean, as Fleetwood J has shown, it's easy to do, and you can buy those sheets of plastic, and you just cut them out to shape, and voila, job's done. And obviously, Fleetwood J is going to be making videos on how he did the seat backs, aren't you, Fleetwood J?
And then Sol said to that is this going to be a vape only bus? But I don't think. Well, no, not think. I know there wasn't any vapors back then, so
No.
No.
You're not allowed to vape on the buses neither.
Did they have electricity in those days?
Yeah, just.
No, there was
buses.
something that I wanted to say. Actually, I wanted to bring up, but I meant to bring it up at the beginning of the show, and I forgot about it. I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and a really good question was raised: is in that why there's no seatbelts? Now, my first reaction was, well, that's a stupid question because seatbelts weren't law back those. I think they brought the seatbelt law in 81, was it 82 maybe? Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
However, when I thought about the question, they still don't have seatbelts on buses.
No.
Now, I know why taxi drivers don't have to wear seatbelts, and that's a safety issue. If you have a passenger in your car, you don't have to wear your seatbelt because if you get attacked, that seatbelt is going to stop you from getting out of your car quicker. So you're exempt from wearing it so that if you're attacked, you can get out of the car. But when you've got no passengers in your car, you have to wear the seatbelt. But I was just wondering if anybody does know why there's no seatbelts in buses
That's
today.
the only exemption that I know of. That's the only exemption that I know of. The general rule is if a seatbelt is fitted to a seat, then it has to be worn.
Yeah.
Seatbelts are not fitted mandatory onto service vehicles, and never have been for quite some time.
Right.
Well, a long time. And but that's under a section 22 permit, I think it is, large bus permit.
Right. Could it be mainly because of the speed that they go? A service bus isn't expected to exceed a high speed very often.
No, it's got nothing to do with speed. It's just the fact that it is a service bus.
Because coaches have them.
Coaches have them, yeah. Coaches have them now. And if they're fitted, generally you have to wear them. And that's the law. You can actually get stopped by the police. And
so who's responsible? Like in a car, if I have someone under the age of 14 not wearing a seatbelt, the driver gets fined. But if you're over 14, the person who's not wearing a seatbelt gets fined.
And the
if
driver.
You've got and the driver. Oh, okay, I didn't know the driver as well.
Yeah.
If you've got, I mean, we've got a bus that's got seatbelts, and we tend to use that for private hire.
Yeah.
But we do get, because it's a normal double, it's an Enviro, I think, and that's got it's a terrible bus for school buses. It's got seatbelts and it's got tables upstairs.
Yeah.
But with the kids being under 14, or a lot of them under 14, who's responsible? Who gets fined if they don't wear the seatbelts?
Yeah, well, they have to be warned, obviously, and they have to be warned periodically, every day, every week, whatever. There has to be plenty of warning signs up. The school has to warn them. You have to warn them, being a driver. And if there's plenty of evidence that they have been warned that they should be wearing seatbelts, and seatbelts, if they're there, they should be fitted.
Yeah.
If it's not a registered service and it's just a private hire, they can get fined.
That now explains why all of our school buses are registered services then.
Yeah.
Because they're actually timetabled and anybody can get on those buses.
Yeah, well, they don't have to wear the seatbelts then.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I know the ruling is it has to be worn if fitted. And then that way, if you've got cars that don't have them, you don't then... Because to make someone modify a vintage car, I think is quite cruel, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Same with the old buses, you know. If they wasn't fitted with them, then they shouldn't be fitted with them.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. So, but I mean, obviously, when I heard the question, why are there not seatbelts? You know, I in my mind, I chirped in, well, that's stupidly obvious. The seatbelt law wasn't in then. But then it was like, but now the buses still don't have seatbelts. when I get in a car, I forget to put my seatbelt on because I never wear one because I don't have one in the driver's cab.
Yeah.
So I just wondered if there was a reason why. So why does the driver not have a seatbelt?
On a bus?
Yeah.
Well, generally they're not fitted to the seats, are they? Unless they are on modern vehicles. But if it's a registered service, then it doesn't have to wear one.
Right. It's just simply that you don't have to, because I know National Express, they've all got seatbelts.
Yeah, well, that's a coach. You see, it's a totally different ball game to a service vehicle.
Yeah, which kind of explains
private hire.
Yeah, private hire.
Yeah. Which is why our private hire coaches have all got seatbelts, because they have to. Yeah.
Well, it's like this. I have this argument. Well, it's slightly changing the subject. At work, obviously, I drive a forklift truck, and the seatbelt should be worn when you're driving a forklift. My instructor, when he did it, he refuses to wear them, and I do, because I think it's more dangerous to wear a seatbelt in a forklift, because one, you're not going to be going very fast, and you're not going to crash into anything or another forklift because we've only got one. But if the thing topples over, you need to be able to jump out.
Yeah.
I know you've got the cage, but then
isn't that where the cutter comes in useful?
A cutter.
Yeah, you can get these devices. They're like an enclosed blade, and you just pull at the seatbelt, and it cuts the seatbelt.
Well, yeah, I suppose, but you haven't got time to be messing around with that if you're just about to. Like, imagine if you're driving along and like there was a concrete post sticking out the floor, and then your forklift decided to tip over onto the post, and you're in the way. You wouldn't be able to get out because you're stuck in by a seatbelt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think silly things like that. So I think there's certain things they just shouldn't be worn.
See, I was going to go for my forklift license. I don't think I'm going to bother now. I'd be too scared of dying.
No, they're not that bad, honestly. I flick mine around all over the place at work.
Do you know, I actually get moaned at when I drive out of the garage into the main car park. I always peep my horn just before I get to the entrance, and when I come in, I do it because I suppose we're all normal people, but as you come in, you've got like a shed. You come in through the shed, and then that there's a door at the other end, and just round the side of the door is the bike shed, and you got motorbikes and push bikes. And I think what happens is people go, "Yay, I'm finished work now. Right, let's get home," and they come flying round that corner straight into the path of the bus. So I always peep my horn. People are like, "Well, what are you peeping your horn for?" And I'm like, "To warn people I'm there."
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a good idea. But, you know, I suppose, yeah, if you've got someone that might walk out.
I believe the rule of fork trucks is that you have to do that, don't you? When you're approaching a corner, you have to peep your horn.
Yeah, you beep when going into building, out the building, anything, just beep your horn. Unless the only exception is if it's got a one of those a reversing beeper attached, but ours doesn't. It's so old.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it broke the other day. One of the con rods or something in the engine completely bent up, and he's bent it back. But we're waiting on a new one. We're trying to get a brand new one.
Well, you need to drive that forklift a little bit harder then and completely break it and make it.
It wasn't me that broke it, by the way. It was. I just got on it and I thought this is making a funny noise because I have to do the checks in the morning. I don't know. Yeah, it's really annoying. Every morning I go into work, I have to check the forklift over.
That's all right. We can compare notes because one thing I'm planning one day, once the bus is built up a little bit more, I was going to bring one of our daily walk around check sheets home with me, and I was going to do a walk around check on our Routemaster because it'd be kind of interesting to see what bits, because our check sheets are actually quite old. So it's even got lockers, and there was something else. But it's actually got lockers. They don't put lockers on buses anymore. So it just shows how old the sheet is.
Mm.
And half of our sheets we put not applicable to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we've got some of that. Yeah, we've got like a gas forklift, and it's talking about electrics and batteries and fuel, and it's like, yeah, NA.
yeah, that's it. I'm just going to change the subject a bit because James has just popped on and said hello, so I just want to show him these.
Hello,
Um,
James.
I'm going to be sending you some photos anyway, but these are the prints that I've been doing for him, and I've just dropped one on the floor. So we've got some hinges there, some of which are no good. So I've labelled them on the back, which ones are which, or what the status of them. These are some other ones. This one was quite funny because you've got some stabilizer links there. You've got some large ones. I'm just going to make that fixed. You've got some large ones and some small ones. And what I do is I load one up and then I right click and I go multiply 5 or 8. And what I'd done is I multiplied the large ones, thought I'd selected the small one, and then did multiply, but I'd actually still selected a big one. So I've got one small stabilizer where I needed 8, and instead of getting 6 large ones, I've got 15 of them. So, yeah. But the first print, these little circly bits all failed. So I've done a reprint, and on the whole, they're okay. In fact, I'm going to give it a bit of thought. Yeah, that's going to break. So that needs another reprint. But and I'll show you these. These are still stuck to the print bed. I actually want to do a little video on these because we've got the little sticky out bits. What do you call them? The PSIs. These bits. That's what I'm printing for them at the moment. I think it's this one and this one. I think, I don't know. I've started the print. I'll just get the knife. But what's happened is the masking tape is lifted, so one of them has warped, and this is the one that's warped. I don't know if you can see. There you go. You can just see it's gone up. Better if I show you with a ruler. You see that gap?
So have you tried adjusting your print bed temperature?
Yes, I've tried everything. I've
Mm.
tried absolutely. What I found works best is when I put the masking tape on, instead of just covering the top of the bed, put way too much on, fold it underneath, but do it on one side, and then once I put the tape on, pull it really hard and then stick it down, and then put a big long bit about this much to tuck underneath, and that holds it down really tight then. And I managed to get a good 6 or 7 print, because I've been trying to I've had a couple of people frustrated saying, oh, you're supposed to be printing this for me, but I can see you printing that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm actually trying to break it. I'm trying to see how much I can do, but these, I'm still trying to get them off with my knife. Right, there we go. These 3 have come out rather nice. I'm happy with those. So, oh, that'd be good. Driving a Routemaster, but this one's going to need a reprint. But these are really nice. You see, it looks really ugly. But if I get my spodger and I remove this, no, come on. I just hear a cuckoo clock.
You did.
Who was that?
I can hear a cuckoo.
Yeah.
My clock.
Oh, bless. That's really nice.
Had it for years.
It's Dave. He's the guilty one.
Okay, that's not going to happen. But James, now you can see why I'm sending you all the brim and everything and let you do the cleanup. So, oh, there we go. So that's just broken off there quite nice. What I wanted to do, these are apparently supposed to diffuse the light, but I can't see. I think it might be too thick. So, but That's fine. I'm going to be sending them to James, and then James is going to be going, oh, they're no good. And I'll go, right, okay, fine, plan B. So that's those. So they are almost done. I've got one more reprint to do, which is the hinges, which I haven't started because I never print on a Wednesday night because it interferes with the show. And there's the envelope I bought. So we'll see how they go. If you don't like them, then you don't like them, but that's fine. So,
look
yeah.
at the dog. No, Jack Russell.
Yep.
Yeah, I love them.
Bless. Now, does your Jack Russell hate men?
No, she hates dogs.
All right. No, a lot of Jack Russells apparently hate men. They're very protective of women, and apparently they hate all men.
I don't know about that. No, I mean, we had one at work. There's a farm. I'm on an industrial estate, and there's a pig farm in the corner, and she's got dogs, and she had a Jack Russell. I say had it. Unfortunately, he had a bit of an accident last year. No, 3 or 4 months ago. But she used to run over to me every lunchtime and just plonk herself on my lap and wouldn't move.
Yes.
She loved all the fun.
I've actually been bitten, but I've been bitten once by a Jack Russell, and it was actually really funny. I think it was karma. I used to do work, and I used to wear steel toe cap boots, and I went on this farm, and this Jack Russell comes up and starts having a go at me, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, and it went to bite me, but it bit me on the toe. So of course it bit the steel toe cap, and I just laughed at it and just went, ha, no chance, you bit me on the steel toe cap. And then it went in for another go, and it got me around the back of the ankle, the one part of my boot that didn't have steel toe caps or didn't have steel protection. And my gut reaction was, after I've screamed, I went to kick this dog, but it just got out of the way. It was not that I'm cruel to dogs. It was just, kick it. And it just got out of the way. But it's the only dog but big dogs little dogs seem to be really aggressive, don't they? It's like, I'm really small, so I'm going to make up for it by being really loud.
Well, this Jack Russell work was the most placid, but it never made a peep. And it was just, she was lovely, but unfortunately, I was in shock. Our delivery driver, well, she used to like going under vehicles, and she decided to go under the van, and then
no.
the van obviously went. Now she was she wasn't okay. Smashed one of her back legs up, and it was hanging off. And my first instinct was to help, so I went to pick her up, and of course she was in so much pain. She had my wrist off, and there was blood going everywhere, and she really bit me. But she managed to walk herself home, but just one of the legs was sort of dragging along the floor. It was disgusting. It was horrible. But the owner had. She was quite old. Well, she was very old. So the owner said the best thing to do was to get her put down, because the leg was just, it was no saving it really.
Yeah.
But it was just a tragic accident.
Cut the back legs off and put those pram wheels on it.
Well, yeah. Bless. But I tried to help, and I didn't. My first instinct was just to pick her up, but of course she didn't like that and bit my wrist. So yeah. But I tried to help, and I didn't. My first instinct was to pick her up. Okay, well, anyway, I need to be moved, and I need to.
Yeah, I need to.
Yeah, that's why she's got my name. She wants to go out.
They have a nice way of telling you, don't they? I used to find that when my dog starts eating me, it's probably telling me it's hungry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So thank you ever so much, everybody that's joined.
Yeah, it's been brilliant.
Yeah, it's been good fun. It's really nice to put a couple of new faces to names.
Thank you so much, Adrian, for joining us, and Dave, both Daves as normal. I still can't believe we have World of Wayne on.
Yeah, see, that's you ask and they will build it, and they will come.
Yes.
Oh, I sent World of Wayne a message. In fact, I'll read you the message I sent him because I think it's quite funny. But I put, oops, gone. Right. So I sent him a message. This is when I was sending out all of the links for the show. And I put, Wayne, I know it's really short notes, so I'm expecting to say no because you are too busy. But do you fancy popping on the show tonight to say hello? If you fancy it, this is the link. And he's put, I'm working until 8:30 tonight, but I will try and get on. And I'm just like, wow, fantastic. Because as far as I'm concerned, he's like YouTube royalty, YouTube part work royalty. So, right. So, thank you everyone for watching, and thank you everyone for taking part. It's been absolutely brilliant. We went way over the time that we wanted to, but that's fine. And I shall now try and salvage some sleep for tomorrow to deal with all my aggressive old ladies moaning because the bus is 1 minute late. Why are you 1 minute late? It's not good enough.
Well, I'd just like to say thank you to Holix and Penny for a great show again, and I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and everybody else.
Oh, lovely! Thank you so much. So yeah, it was. It's been fun. It has been fun. It's been nice to just chat really and chill out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's as much as I love doing the build, I've actually quite enjoyed having a bit of a break from the build.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. But now I can't wait till next week now. I want to get my fingers into that next week. And I really hope it's not going to be late. Please don't be late. Please.
Are you sure you're looking?
Yes, I am.
Because we had this little disagreement last week.
Yeah, we did,
yes,
didn't we?
But if I want to know exactly what we're getting. So I'm hoping that we get more than a person, but if we only get a person, by the time we get to issue 150, it won't matter anymore. I'll be like, okay, yeah, we had one bit of a slow issue, but then there might be somebody else out there going, "Oh, I hope we only get a figure." But yeah, no, I just want to know what we're getting.
There's more seats to come, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I reckon. I mean, maybe we'll get a figure. Maybe we'll have the rest of the seats for the lower deck and the bowler man.
Yeah.
I tell you what I'd really like is if they say, Penny, we know you're going to be a little bit short of money, so what we're doing is we're going to give you all of the remaining pieces in one issue.
No chance.
Yeah, no chance.
Yeah, no chance.
I think we're all agreed on that one, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely.
I think the response will be, can't afford it, tough. We really don't care. We've got plenty of other subscribers.
Right, I'm going to wish you all a good night and a Merry Christmas to you all. I hope it's a good one for you all, and we'll see you all next time around.
Okay, you take care, everyone. So, thank you from Adrian. Thank you from Dave.
Yeah, okay.
And thank you from Horlicks.
Yeah,
it's a good night from me.
It's been brilliant.
Yeah. And enjoy your mince pies, guys. Take care. We're gone.